Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen. The club where we talk about our club, you get me? Liverpool Football Club. Unfortunately, there's a lot for us to unpack in a lot more of a negative connotation than a positive one. But regardless, big up to all of you guys. Please do slap that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. And please go subscribe to all these guys' channels. All their links will be in the description. Go subscribe to everyone that's joining us on today's stream. Our captain is posting black and white pictures. The local boy hasn't yet extended his contract. So, that's further worrying signs. And possibly our greatest ever Premier League player. Second in my opinion, but possibly our greatest ever Premier League player is also not staying at the club, given the fact that none of them have signed a contract yet. We have also not won a game in the last two in the Premier League, that is, draw with Man United. So there's a lot for us to unpack, Habibis. Joining us, first and foremost, is the English version of myself. Absolutely love working with this guy. Jazza is in the building. How are you doing, Jamie, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to try and be calmer this week.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's just straight up not going to work. Big up to you, Jamie.
I just lost all my shit on the copies just a minute ago as well, so maybe I won't.
Fair enough. Joining us next on the channel, you get me.
Depends who winds me up.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, this club winds us all up right now. This is just typical. I'm not even going to look at some of the comments because I'm mad already. Joining us next on the channel, you get me. Cosplays as a Salah fan. Truly, we all know he's a Nunes boy. Unfortunately, we might have to rely on his favorite player tomorrow because there's this other player who is made from cornflakes and who has torn down again. You get me? So joining us on the channel, of course, is everyone's favorite Salah fan, yet has uncomfortable conversations about Salah and Alisson 2.5 years on his channel, Football with Endz. Subscribe in it. I'm a viewer as well, I'm a viewer of his channel. Uncomfortable conversations, but let's give a chance to the guy that has 51 big chances missed in 2.5 years. Regardless, I love him, man. Like Endz is in the building. Hi, Endz.
Big up, bro. Nah, that was quality still. When are you gonna get me on first, though, man? I feel like I'm feeling left out. Who said it last time? Was it Mike? Not Mike. One of them said, "Nah, why am I always last?" But listen, I appreciate being second anyway. I keep telling you, bro, I am a Salah fan. I know, but we have to keep the energy,
I hear you. I'm also Puerto Rican. Nice to meet you. I'm Puerto Rican. I was born in Puerto Rico. ¿Cómo estás, Endz?
Big up, bro.
Hola, big up. Joining us next on the channel, the man with the mustache, the man that's causing trouble, you get me, all over the world of YouTube, cussing out these owners, rightfully so. The villain arc has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. And I could tell you, this guy has 1% love only left for Nunez, unlike this other guy next to him who has a lot of love. This guy only has 1% left, so that 1% comes out every now and then, but 99% of the time he does call him out, to be fair. But joining us on the channel, he lost the New York grit for the LA life, but we love him anyway. Mike is in the building. Hi, Mike.
Wednesday, I'm a useless calculator merchant with useless opinions that no one cares about. And today, I'm the guy who's calling out FSG and has 1% love for Darwin Nunez. Habibi, with these bipolar reactions, pick a side. Anyway, big up to everybody. Smash the like.
Is there a reason behind this name? Das 5-0.
It's probably like in reference to Hawaii 5-0 would be my assumption, or it's in reference to Tom Selleck, because 5-0 is a synonym for the police. So
fair enough. Maybe it's because of the mustache. Let us know, Nick, because you're Australian, so you have that that Vegemite humor. So no one laughed really. Tom Selleck. Let's Google this. Exactly. 1 second.
Tom Selleck is my picture. Hold on. This is Tom Selleck.
Oh, that's Tom Selleck. Oh, fair enough. I hear you. Nick, 60%. And last but not least, you get me, coach, player, professional, Trent fan, Salah fan, Diaz fan. You get me. Love working with him as per usual. And I'm interested actually to hear his opinion today on some of the non-football stuff. For a while, I think Jerry's maybe a bit more concerned with the on-field stuff, specifically tactically and stuff, because I know that's the stuff that he loves. But today we're gonna reach the other side of Jerry. I want to ask him about the other stuff and what he thinks about that as well, because today is gonna be very, very entertaining. If you would like, man, like JJ is in the building. How you doing, JJ, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. Couldn't miss this one. So looking forward to getting involved in the convo.
Appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. Listen, 9 minutes into the video, we have already 400 and something people watching. Make sure guys are liking the video. Make sure guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys right now, please hit the like button and subscribe. And just quickly, before everyone starts saying congratulations and all that stuff, guys, I'm not engaged yet because unfortunately yesterday my father's uncle passed away, so we had to postpone it a little bit. So we're either gonna do it next Friday or the Friday after. I don't know yet the date, but khalas, whatever happens. It's in the hands of God, just destiny. You get me? But it's all good. Big up to all of you guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and khalas, business as usual. Hopefully we get the win tomorrow. Endz always complains that I don't start with him, so he can start this one. Instead of talking about the football, I genuinely want to start off with the stuff off the pitch. I feel like this is the first episode where we genuinely need to start with off the pitch activities instead of on the pitch activities, because with on the pitch activities we might be a bit more repetitive and stuff like this. Off the pitch activities, there's a lot of drama over the last week and a half with as I mentioned earlier on, the Van Dijk black and white pictures, the one that he's posted, no contract extensions yet, no signings, rejecting 70 million pounds for a certain, it's just madness over this last week. So talk to me, what are you saying with this field stuff?
In terms of that picture you're speaking about, guys, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go and look at it. It's on his timeline. One of the pictures is of him in a huddle with the team. The other one of him, I don't think he's waving, but it kind of shows as if he's waving to the fans, and it's in black and white. That's not something you want to see as a Liverpool fan. He's the guy for me. You can't replace that. Still no contracts for Mo. Still no contract for Trent. Turning down 70 million, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. But turning down 70 million for me is crazy when there's money out there. And then I'm hearing my manager today in the press conference sounding like Klopp, saying like I'm happy with the squad, you know what I mean, and we're good. And he's starting to speak about Chelsea spending money and Man United spending money. I'm like, yo, you're not Klopp, bro. You're Slot. So why are you speaking about other? That it just reminds me of what we used to go through. And I don't know. Listen, the guys are going to ask you questions, but it feels like he was just proper deflecting in terms of we haven't. Our form has taken a turn. Yes, we've drawn two back-to-back Premier League games, but now we're doing the deflection tactics. I don't know if we're going to sign anyone. Obviously, you've got the debate whether Robbo or Tsimikas are good enough. You need to get someone in there. We need a striker. I'm sure we're going to spend a bit of time speaking about Jota as well. He played 20 minutes against Accrington Stanley, 20 minutes, against Forest. And you got Nigel again. I don't know what's going on there. I honestly couldn't tell you. And then
there's a reason why he's on the thumbnail, centerpiece, for good reason. We have to address this. This is bullshit, to be honest with you. But anyway, carry on.
No, it's crazy, bro. You haven't even played a full game yet. The manager said the last press conference. Now, with the reason why I've given him 30 and 30 to get him back ready to play 90. And then you're going to tell me you got a niggle already. You ain't even been able to complete 90 yet. I don't know what's going on with him. So that means we're going to have to kind of rejig again. Maybe it's going to be Diaz. Maybe it's Nunez has to come back in. Maybe Jayden Danns gets an opportunity on the bench, or I don't think he'll start, but maybe he gets an opportunity. But there's so much things for this club to go and fix, and it's causing an issue now because the results on the pitch hasn't been good. So because we've drawn two back-to-back, I think if we won, I think we can kind of, another week has gone by, we can go, do you know what? We don't have to discuss these off-the-field things because we're winning. But when you're not winning, it highlights the off-the-field stuff. So now you're noticing Virgil posting black and white pictures. I've noticed it before. But now there's a highlight on it because you're like, hold on, I ain't noticed that. That's because we haven't won. So we're not in the realm of looking at highlights or, you know, looking at what people are saying about the performances of players. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the football club. I don't know where we're going to be in at the end of the season. I'm hoping we finish off with the Premier League and we can celebrate as fans. But I don't know, man, because if we don't win it, I don't know what happens past this point, bro. Because if we don't win it, I don't know how we can keep the players that we want to keep. So Salah, Virgil, and Trent. If we don't win the title, if we lose it, bro, they're going to make their mind up themselves and go, look, I can't be bothered now. And then does that affect us trying to sign players? Me and Mike had a great conversation just a minute ago. I don't know what that reset looks like. What does that look like? Is that like 30 million players, as Mike was saying? And then we just kind of try, you know what I mean? We have an off season and then we wait a couple of more years and then we're back. But by then, Man City would have bought all the players they want to buy and compete. Arsenal might figure out that they need a striker and go and get him. Chelsea don't care about money at this point, as Slot pointed out in his press conference. They spent 1.2 billion already just on transfers. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about. I'll let the other guys have a say now. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
According to Paul Joyce in his Times column, Mo Salah's been offered a contract, but he hasn't signed it yet. So I don't know if that's true or not. So that's according to that. But this contract stuff's are getting a bit of a nonsense now, isn't it? You either got to do two things at the club: sit them down, and tell them like, this is the contract, sign it. If you're not going to sign it, just leave. Like we're going to have to tell everyone you're going, so the fans know what's happening. It is getting a bit weird now. I said it a couple of weeks ago. It wouldn't shock me if Trent's the only one who signed, and I got laughed at. You know, that still could be the thing that happens here. You know, Marca are doing a lot of talk about Trent right now. They also said Alphonso Davies is close to signing for Real Madrid. Now he's signing a contract with Bayern Munich. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's the thing that's getting us Liverpool fans down the most at the moment, because I do feel like this might be the last year for quite a while if we win the league this year, because I think City are going to go on a financial madness in the next few years. They're going to be found innocent of all their crimes, and they're just going to go on a massive financial tear, and they're going to be hard to stop. Man United, you got to feel eventually they're going to get it right under Ruben Amorim. Chelsea, you never know with them. Apparently, Chelsea are trying to buy Garnacho from United. Why? I don't know. They're just wasting money,
bro. They want to spend.
Yeah, just wasting money now. So it's the off the pitch stuff that's getting us all down, ain't it? That's what's getting us all down at the moment, and it needs to stop. The club needs to say something and just tell us where we stand, because I know people will go, look, it's not like the club will tell us when they're ready to tell us, but these players are so important to everything we do as a football club. You know, this ain't Diaz running out of contract or Simicast running out of contract. You know, most Liverpool fans couldn't care less. But this is our three biggest players whose deals are coming to an end. And as fans, we just don't know where we stand right now, because 99% of the fan base don't trust the ownership. We got what looks like a good manager in charge now. And to some Liverpool fans, it's going to look like we're failing him straight away. So we just need answers one way or another. And, you know, it should, you know, just get the contract signed, say you're doing it. Come, you know, even you can PR it as much as you like. We offered them all deals. None of them want to accept it. They want to move elsewhere. PR it as much as you like. At least we know where we stand. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it right now. I don't know how the boys feel, but that's how I'm feeling.
Right now, my focus on the club isn't even on winning the league. It's not even on winning the Champions League, because like, at what cost am I going to win those titles? What's the point of winning if I have to burn myself to the ground to do it? Right? Like, I get it. Sometimes you got to crash the ship. You got to go for broke, and then it is what it is. But that shouldn't be a club that is the 6th highest revenue generator on the planet. Like, that shouldn't even be an equation. That should be something that like Napoli does. That should be something that a Leicester does, right? It's we're going to go for broke and then we're going to sell everybody because we're never going to have this opportunity again in the history of our club. So we might as well just do it, right? That's not Liverpool. And to me, with every day that passes, I get the feeling that this is just like we could not be further apart on terms of perspective. Like, and when people say ambition, right? When Husam says ambition, he means winning trophies. But I know that when FSG say ambition, that means making $4 billion because that's what they've done, right? And that is ambition in itself, right? To turn a club that you bought for a comparatively small price into a $5 billion mega machine, that's ambition, right? Like that's capitalistic ambition. And they won trophies along the way, but I think that those are just the secondary cherries on top. The goal was the cake, and the cake is 5 billion. And the Champions League and the Premier League are the extra cherries. But you know what? The cake is still the cake without the cherry. And that only takes up a small piece of the surface area. There's still a whole bunch of cake to be eaten. So to me, this feels like they're setting up to tear it down to rebuild, right? The only reason that I could logically think that they don't have these things sorted out is because they're not going to be sorted out. Because going forward, they're not going to be in the equation. And if Michael Edwards is going to do that, that's fine. But I just want to be told that. I want to be told by FSG, we're going to take this risk. We've done it before. I know that we sold someone to do it, but this time we're willing to dip into our pockets to do it because we don't want to sign these players. Fine. All good. Just tell me. I just don't want to be dancing in the dark, right? I'd rather you tell me the truth straight up. Like, don't sugarcoat it like a doctor. If I got 6 months to live, tell me I got 6 months to live. Don't dance around the fucking bad news. Because to me, that's what this all smells like. It smells like we're letting them go. We're going to bring in new players. We're going to basically roll the dice. If Slot can do it with these guys, who knows? We could probably still get top four if we replace them. We might not win the league, but we're still going to make money. Maybe we win a cup. But I just need to be told that. That's it. That's my stance.
They might think, look, do you know what's weird about FSG at times is that they employ the right people in the job to be successful, but then they don't help them be successful. Do you know what I mean? So you employ Jurgen Klopp, one of the greatest managers out there at the time. You give him the standpoint to be successful, and they did for the first few years. To be fair to them, first few years they did try everything they can to make it successful for Klopp, but then they sort of stopped. Then Klopp leaves, and you're thinking, where we go, and they go, you know what? We're going to bring back the people that actually helped us with Klopp, make us successful. We'll put them in the background. We're going to find you a really good manager. And then we stop again. It's like you've got the ingredients there. They've got a lot of the ingredients there in the club already. And it's like they just pause on it and let it work it out itself. It's like, I do feel like with what Mike said there, what Michael Edwards, apparently there's heat on Michael Edwards in FSG now. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So Michael Edwards was brought to FSG, was brought to work for FSG to find FSG a second football club. That was his main job. And he hasn't done it in the 10 months he's been there, apparently. So now he's getting heat for not doing his job properly. It's all a bit of it's a bit of a weird one out there. But if you are rebuilding again, which I don't like that word rebuild because I don't think Liverpool need to rebuild. There's players there. But if you do need to do it again, FSG go look at it. Like the best person to do that is Michael Edwards because no one understands us better than Michael Edwards. So we'll go and find out these players.
Why do you think it is, though, Jay, and probably everyone on the panel? They run the club as a business really well. Obviously, they've mad profits year in, year out. The club is now worth 4 billion. So clearly they know what they're doing. But on the pitch, it's like we get to a position where we can be dominant, and they go, nah, we ain't trying to be too dominant. We don't want to really stand out here. We just want to just fall away in the background and relax, and we'll try and win one or two, and we'll just compete now and then. Why is it they're like that? Where the other owners don't care. Chelsea owners, they've just spent, and I get it. Our squad didn't need a lot of improvement on, but we still needed improvement. Chelsea needed a lot of players.
Yeah, but Mike told you the reason for that, Endz. There's a reason for that. For us five on this panel, ambition is winning the league, winning the Champions League. For them, ambition is making money, and they are making money.
I just want to provide some numbers because I'm looking at the Forbes 2024. So like the most updated financials when it comes to Liverpool, right? Right now, Liverpool is the fourth highest valuated club on the planet. 60 million pounds higher than $60 million higher than Manchester City. We're 5.37 billion based on Forbes. Manchester City is 5.1. So I'm sorry, that's 27 billion more. 27 million more than Manchester City. Yet Manchester City are able to spend 200 million in a January. Manchester City don't operate in a profit, right? Real Madrid operate.
It's different for City.
I think the problem
they don't get audited.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't even think it's that, right? Like I don't. Again, as Husam was talking about, I don't really like to talk about the off-field stuff because ultimately it's stuff that you can't control. But there comes a point where you have to talk about it, and I feel like my views on it are quite controversial. So I don't like to be the guy that just throws stuff out there and it sounds all mad, right? But cool. FSG, when it comes to obviously an asset, right? An asset isn't always liquid. The difference is Man City have liquid assets. So they've got cash that they can spend. FSG have cash.
Because they put money in. FSG don't put money into the club.
But
FSG only operate.
But yeah, exactly. But that's my point. So if I'm a business owner, right, that I don't have the same amount of money as someone else, or I'm a real estate agent, but I haven't got the liquid cash as someone else, but I've just built up my portfolio, my asset portfolio based on the assets I've got. I haven't got the liquid cash to go and put in it. So when you look at FSG themselves, we're nowhere near the wealthiest owners. We know that, right? But in compared to City are different. Newcastle are different. Chelsea are different. These are owners that have liquid cash that they can go and put into the club. And ultimately, they do not care if they just spend the money. So, of course, as fans that just watch the football, we want owners that's injection their cash, especially when we need it. And it doesn't have to be anything, of course, great. And I understand that point. I think we're moving away from what the real issue is. And I personally feel that Jurgen Klopp leaving has ultimately decimated the plans that were put in place for Liverpool, right? And let me kind of explain it. So Jurgen Klopp in the job ends the season, right? What, fourth or whatever, fifth it was, right? It was fifth or whatever. Midfield were battered, right? All of a sudden, they let Fabinho go. Henderson wants to go. And Liverpool have to kind of rebuild the midfield, right? Season before that, of course, we already saw Diaz started to come in. We got Nunes in as well because it was like, Jurgen Klopp wants a striker now so that he goes and gets his striker because Michael Edwards and stuff aren't there. 18 months into that project of this rebuild that we're talking about, because it was a rebuild where Fabinho was on the way out, Mane on the way out, the midfield were on the way out. He decides to say, I'm leaving, right? In the process, you've got some of the old guard where their contracts are running out. You have to get a manager that comes in, and ultimately the manager that comes in is now looking at a squad that, they're decent players, but I might not want them. So heck, we're all sitting here thinking it's not a rebuild. We've got really good players. But if Slot looks at it and thinks, I don't really like, you know what? McAllister and Gravenberch are great. They're doing fantastic for me. But originally, I really wanted Zubimendi. That suggests to me someone from that midfield might be gone. I really like Trent. I really do. But maybe I want a different right back. All of a sudden, that requires money. You know what? Alisson, I do like him, but there's Mamadashvili that we might want. And I do really like the idea of that goalkeeper. All of a sudden, you've got a new manager with his new ideas that doesn't necessarily see those players fitting in. I think Lawrence from that Lost Cast guy, I think he brought up and was speaking about it, and it really echoed what I've been thinking. I don't think a lot of these players are going to be here for a long while, and they're going to be a lot of our favourites. That might be your Virgil, your Gravenberch that have done really well. It might be McAllister. It might be Luis Diaz. It might be Jota. But guess what? Because of the contract situation we're in and the fact that Liverpool now are probably looking at it and thinking, you know what? Slot might want to rebuild this whole team. He needs a different left back. Hey, he's going to have to, do you know what I mean? He might not like the right centre back that we've got right now. Maybe Konate, because originally at the start of the season, Kwanzaa was going to start the season. So that might suggest that, you know what, maybe he doesn't really like Konate, irrespective of whether Liverpool are doing well or not, right? It's working for me right now, and you were great players for what I've got right now. But where we're trying to go, you might not be the solution for me in the next 2-3 years, right? At the same time, he's got the contract situation where and obviously the ages of Virgil van Dijk and Salah, most importantly, that they're getting older and you're going to have to go and replace them sooner rather than later. So Liverpool might be in a situation, and I'm just putting this out there, where they might think, we've got to sort out Virgil and Salah. Of course, they're so important to us. But heck, if we've got to go and spend money on getting a new left back that's going to be here for the foreseeable future, and we've got to go and get a forward that's going to be here for the foreseeable future, heck, and we might have to get a couple midfielders that are going to be here for the foreseeable future, because Jones hasn't nailed down a starting spot, Soboslai hasn't nailed down a starting spot, Elliott is not getting in the team, Endo's not getting in the team, Gravenberch, originally at the start of this, we just thought he's not a DM option, right? We wanted Zubimendi but didn't get him. Liverpool might be thinking, you know what? We might have to spend a lot of money on other areas. Can we afford to extend Virgil van Dijk and Salah? Because ultimately, we're going to have to move them on in 3 years anyway. And from a business standpoint, that's how they're looking. Of course, as fans, we're looking at thinking, we want Salah and Virgil are crucial, right? But ultimately, football is football. And in next year, in 2 years' time, they might not be the same players. And we might be in the same situation when we're looking at it and we have to go and replace them. And ultimately, that's why I think where the buck stops.
Yeah,
Can I just say one thing based on what Jerry
go
said very importantly? What Jerry just said is an even worse scenario than even what's happening right now. Because we're basically saying 3 of our best players ever, essentially, are going to leave. Then, on top of that, there's players in this team that might leave as well, like, let's say, a McAllister or Diaz, whichever example you want. Let's say 2 or 3 players might leave, and we're going to have to rebuild, and we're going to have to replace these greats. There's a reason why, from a business perspective, does not work in sports. It doesn't. There's all the successful institutions, you will never hear their fans say from a business perspective. City fans don't talk about business perspective. PSG fans don't talk about business perspective. Neither do Chelsea fans, not Real Madrid fans, not Barcelona fans. These guys don't talk about business perspective. But I feel like we have been forced into these conversations because of the way that the club is run and because of the way that the club operates. You have to be, and I always say this, you have to have an accountant degree in order to talk about like Liverpool Football Club, because you have to be like well-rounded in the financial world of things. I'll go back to what Mike said at the start. Mike's statement remains to be true. At the end of the day, ambition for us is winning, dominating, and sustaining success. Ambition for them is making revenue. They have made revenue, and they're going to continue to make revenue. And until the revenue stops, that's where the conversations will change, and that's where things like this will change. And you could see, like, maybe with certain things, maybe that affects, let's say, the match-going fans, like increasing ticket prices and stuff like this. That's when you will see a Spirit of Shankly speak up, or other, you know, like fan representations speak up. But with us, it's a different conversation, because obviously I'm not like a frequent match goer. I'd love to be one, but I'm not, because of geographical location. I can't be I literally can't. But when it comes to like you guys, I know you've been to games and stuff, but like you're not season ticket holders or anything, but you've been to games and you try to go every now and then and stuff like this. Those are the things that eventually, if FSG will ever sell the football club, will be the reason why they are gone. Ticket prices, the locals, the match goers turn. And to be fair, I think over the last maybe year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, I have seen a bit different energy, even from match going and local fans, that they have, a lot of them have turned. Like, the opinions are not the same opinions from 3 years ago, and there's a reason for that. Look, 4 years ago, no one can, even when I was FSG out at the time, you can't argue that we aren't a well-run club, because our basis was scouting, getting that 20 million, 30 million gem that no one knows about, that no one's ever heard of, and we're going to let them cook. Or maybe someone's heard about them to an extent, but they don't expect them to become one of the world's best. We go and buy them. The issue is everyone now has that scouting system. Everyone has scouts in South America and Europe and everywhere. You know, you've got clubs signing players from Georgia. You've got clubs signing players from all over the world that are talented and selling them for a lot of money. And now we are stuck in a cycle where Endz's point now becomes true of every time I am ready to make the final step to climb the mountain, I am pushed off it by this owner. I'm pushed off it by the lack of ambition. And that's where the conversation becomes even more irritating, because what people don't realize, and I've said this earlier on, I think if Liverpool make 2 signings this January window, we could genuinely complete football and win the quadruple. Like, genuinely, I'm not even joking. I've never been like, I'm not Callum, big up Kopish, but I'm not Callum. I'm not like, oh, FSG until the day I die and all this. I'm not reactionary. You get me? Hold that, Callum. I know you're watching. Hold that, Callum. You know, I always feel like as soon as we're ready, just ready to take the next step, we're pushed off the mountain. We're pushed off the hill. In reverse, you see Manchester City. Sorry, Mike, just to bring this back to the ambition point. You look at Manchester City having a really bad season. In January, they've just went ham. Like, every day I wake up and there's a new guy that's signing for Manchester City. And people don't realize this. The reason why I say this is the last dance season, I'm guaranteeing everyone watching this right now, City are winning the league next year. Just give up. Like, completely. Focus on Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League next season, because City are winning the Premier League next year. And if you're a Liverpool fan, you know this deep down, because we're not going to strengthen. And I bring it finally to land on Jerry's point, which is, if everything Jerry said is true, and I know selection, he likes to be edgy. It's like, oh, let Jerry talk more. What selection doesn't realize is, if what Jerry says is true, it's the scariest scenario possible. Because now, instead of doing 2 things, 3 things in the summer, I've got to do 10 things in the summer, 11 things in the summer, 12 things in the summer. And am I supposed to trust the club that couldn't get 2, 3 things done last summer to get 11, 12 things done in one summer? I can't.
Mad.
It doesn't make any sense, because even from a business perspective, you would think that you want to keep your most productive employees. If I was running an investment banking firm and I was Clearlake Capital and my job is to make investments, I want to keep my most productive investments, which means that I need to hold the valuation of my club, which means that if I lose those pieces, my value drops, because all of a sudden I'm not producing as much. And while I agree with a bunch of what Jerry said, the disagreement that I have is that you can compare us to those other clubs, because FSG are worth $13 billion, right? Ultimately, none of us here are sitting here saying we want to sign a striker to 9.5 years, $247 million, 500,000 pounds a week, 71,000.
Yeah, no one said that. No one will.
I would be perfectly satisfied with buying 2 players for 65 million. Go get me that 35 million pound left back, and go get me that 20 million pound striker. That's 55 million. If anything, that's net 15 million spend based on the summer. The issue that I have is that that's not ambition, and we're still not willing to do that. That's my problem.
Yes.
I
I
view ambition as going out and buying and outbidding City and buying Marmoush. I view the other
Mike,
ones as
on that point, because I
pragmatic
agree with you. But Mike, this is where the problem is, right? From their standpoint. And again, I agree with us. I'd want us to get Marmoush. I'd want us to get. Do you know what I mean? Ivan Toney to bring him on loan.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been saying the same thing, right? But ultimately, going back to what Husam's saying, and this is where I've talked about, I think, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. This is why I think when we're thinking about they're not doing anything, I think they are. They are trying to plan what, and this is the problem they're in now. Because Klopp left, because they had to go and deal with all that situation, because they came to now they're looking at it like, okay, we've got to deal with the fact that Klopp's leaving, so we need to get a manager in. When the manager comes in, he's going to be like, look, this is my 4-year plan or 5-year plan, whatever. These are the players I'm going to want to have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We need to do that, but at the same time, we've got 3 of our best players, as Husam said, that are leaving. In the midst of all of this, we're now on a title challenge that we didn't really expect to be in. And yeah, we could go and spend money on the fact that, you know, in January, now we could spend money and get this, you know, player for 20 million and stuff. But at the end of the day, he might not even be a player that Slot wants. These are players that they're just saying, Slot wants Zubimendi. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't want to come. Whoever else Slot wants, clearly, Liverpool are incapable of getting that player.
But here's the issue. Zubimendi is willing to go to Arsenal. We have to ask ourselves why.
No, he is. But again, until he's there, I'm not really, he was willing to come to Liverpool until he wasn't. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, that was target number one. We haven't got him. At the same time, Slot's looking at it and thinking, and sorry, not Slot, FSG and stuff are thinking, we're in the mud right now because we've just spent money on Soboslai, money on McAllister, money on Endo. Who else came in? Money on Nunes the year before, Diaz a bit earlier. And now the manager comes in and he says he doesn't want all of them. They were the players that were supposed to be part of this new face Liverpool team. If he's looking at it and saying, I don't want Diaz, I don't really want Jota, that was supposed to be the guy right now, but he's always injured. I don't want McAllister, maybe. Gravenberch, I mean, he's doing really well now, but did I originally want him? No. In an ideal scenario, I want Zubimendi in that role. So what does that do to Gravenberch? All of a sudden, that changes.
But do you think Slot knocked on Hughes' door and said, get me Zubimendi or no one? This is where I'm going to have to disagree with you.
No, but but we never knew who.
I don't really think that was the conversation. I think Slot probably knocked on Richard Hughes' door and said, I've assessed the squad and I think we need a DM. And then the list comes out. And obviously, as we all know, we're all intelligent human beings. No club has a list of one player on it. Obviously, there's multiple players on there. Now, for whatever reason, after Zubimendi said no, we said, fuck it, we're not going to sign anyone, which I think is stupidity. And one of the things that we heard in the summer was we're going to focus on re-signing these contracts. Now, the issue that we have is we haven't re-signed any of them and we haven't signed any player. And if what you're saying is true, the reason why I said that Schwarz is I cannot trust the club to do all this in the summer. I just don't think it is humanly possible. And before we just carry on, big up to Dan Potts for the raid. Shout out to Potsy. Big up to you. Thank you, Dan Potts. We have over 1,000 people in here. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Let's get 500 likes. Please go subscribe to all these guys on the channel. Mike Das, LFC, Football with Endz, Jamie Phillips, Football Chats, and the Jerry James Show. They're all in the description. Please go give them a subscribe. So yeah, that's my point. I don't think he knocked on his door and was like, just get me Zubimendi or no one.
Why wasn't other players on the list? Why wasn't other players on the list, and who else?
No, but there would have been other players on the list.
I think they can be, 100%. But the problem Liverpool have got, right? The problem Liverpool have got, and this is it. You can go and get option number 2, option number 3, when you know Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk are going to be there, right? You can go and get number 4. We can go and get Endo like last season and still make it work when you've got, all of a sudden, you don't have that because there's no, at this point in time, if for whatever reason they don't want to sign, right? And ultimately, like again, as Jamie said, they've been offered contracts that they don't want to sign for whatever reason, right? One wants to go to Madrid, one's playing, I want to stay here, but I'm not signing, and the other one's posting black and white pictures right now, right? So ultimately, the club's like, we can sign option number 2 when that's happening. We can't do that if they go. Like it needs to be option number 1. So we can't go and get Omar Marmoush if that's not option number 1. Because right now, if they leave, you need the options number 1. Because guess what? Slot's coming in. I guarantee you, he doesn't like. Ideally, those players aren't his players, and every manager's like that. Even if they work for how good Adam Lallana was for Klopp at the beginning, for how good Origi was at the beginning when Jurgen Klopp came into this team, for how good Moreno did for a short while when he was at left back, even though we didn't like him, right? And for how well we got into the Champions League, they weren't his players. There was 1 or 2 that were like, yeah. We will keep them like Coutinho, and we had to move them on anyway. The rest of them, they weren't players that Jurgen Klopp wanted. Hence why Lovren left. Hence why Mignolet left. This happens in football. When a new manager comes in, it's his principles, his players, his ideals. And this happens over a 2-year period. Problem is, Liverpool have just lost the best ever, one of the best ever managers to ever, graced football, right? And for Liverpool's 3 best players, arguably, in the last 8 years, right, in Virgil van Dijk, Salah, that are on minimal contracts. So from an FSG point of view, they're screwed because now what do I do? Where do we start? Like, we need to replace the players that are here because Slot doesn't want them. But the best players that would be there, to help us get through this transition, they might be going. And at the same time, we're in a situation now where we could win the league, but we need to spend.
But Jerry,
where do we spend now?
Don't you like? I think it was either on Endz's or Jamie's channel where I brought up this point. If that's the case, wouldn't the most FSG move be to let Trent go because Madrid are not going to buy him. The only reason why they want him is because he's free, right? So if you know you're not going to get Trent, let him go, right? But you still got Salah and you got Virgil van Dijk. You know that Saudi Arabia is knocking. You know that they want them. You've seen it. Sign them to 4-year deals. Overpay them in the short term. If you have to keep them for a season, you keep them for a season. But you know that if they're not a part of the long-term plan, that's 2 players that I could potentially get 40 million apiece from. And 80 million is a hell of a lot better than 0. And to me, the problem is that why is it that I'm able to sit here and figure out an FSG move and FSG's not figuring that out? Like that's
Yeah.
such a simple, that's such a simple solution. Overpay in the short term, sell because you know that Saudi Arabia will still buy them, and you know that Virgil's not going to turn down $500,000.
Mike, that's because they've left like Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards in charge to deal with that. They're not sitting there negotiating or offering contracts. They've given these guys jobs to do so. So it's down to these guys to get these things across the line, and they're not. But why is it when we had Klopp in, and we've now got Slot, why is it taking them so long to move on from their first target? It feels like if they don't get their first one, they're not interested in no one else. It can't be a coincidence. Every single time we go into the market, we go, right, that's my guy. And then you go, I'm not getting no one now. I'm just going to move past it. And then we wait, and then we miss out.
I think the difference is, and again, this is me thinking because I'd want Arab owners to spend, you know what I mean, to honestly be the richest club in the world. And I don't care. I'm just like, spend money. I don't care about all this FFP, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think with Jurgen Klopp, we were in a situation where when you looked at it at any given point, right, or there was a certain point where we went and said we've got the best right back, the best left back, the best centre back. So it was difficult to necessarily go and improve that team, right? So anytime we were buying players, and when we did, they never really broke
but
into
the bench
team.
wasn't equal to the starting 11.
No, the bench wasn't. But it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to go and get the bench to be equal to the starting lineup. I think right now we're in a situation where I don't think they can go and get option number 2 when your star players are leaving, because you're going to need them to be your star players, especially when the manager looks at it and thinks, Soboslai's not going to be my star man. McAllister's not going to be my star man. Konate might not be my star man. I'm just putting that. Jota's not going to be my star man. This is the spine of our team without Virgil van Dijk, Salah, you know. That's the spine of our team. If the manager says, I don't want, they need to get a new spine, because these guys might be leaving as well. So what do you do now? And ultimately, it is a worrying take. That's why I don't really even discuss it, because like where do you?
Yeah, but even from their perspective, that makes stuff worse for them then. Like that's
no, it doesn't. Like Jerry's point,
yes, it does, because they're going to lose on 3 of their assets. No, you're going to lose on Van Dijk on a free. What you said is true. You could 40 million is better than nothing. So let's say all 3 of them leave for 40 million each. Okay. That's it. I'm not going to say any crazy number. That's 120 million. 120 million is a lot of money, and it's better than 0. 120 million is 2 signings. The second thing I'll say is, why are we not making FSG prototypical signings like Kvaratskhelia? Like 55 million pounds is literally FSG money type signing. Like it's nothing. It's not crazy numbers. Same with Zubimendi. Same with other players. Like we're talking about players in our price range that we aren't even going for. No one's asking for Mbappe, Rodri, Vinicius. Like, we're not asking for the best of the best. Even those, like, players that are ready to take the step, just like 1 step, 2 step away from the top level, we're not signing either. And that's the issue that this whole thing brings. Because now I'm going to have to get a right winger and a centre back and another centre back and the right back and the left back and a DM and a striker.
I'm going to need 15 players.
This is the way I look at it with Liverpool under FSG. I always feel like FSG actually always build under a manager and actually really good first 11. Right? You like under Klopp and Slot, they got usually very good first 11s, yeah. But it's usually underneath that as the issue. Now you asked why we weren't buying Kvaratskhelia. They won't. For me, they don't want to buy too many players that are going to be on similar wages. It's why they're never in a hurry to sell players like Harvey Elliott or a Curtis Joneses of this world, because they're on 40 or 50 grand a week. If they sell them, the next player they bring in is going to be on probably far more money than that. And they don't want players that are not going to play regularly sitting on 120, 130, 140 grand a week.
Cheap.
That's what, and that's always been our problem. You look at our first 11, I think we'll all agree. If we put our best first 11 out on the pitch right now, it's as good as anything around you. But then underneath that, it's always been the issue. That's why we're like, right, if Van Dijk goes missing, who's going to come in? Why haven't we got a Van Dijk-like replacement for him? Firstly, that would cost, I don't know if that's even possible, but then you're asking for a defender of that quality to maybe sit on the bench who's going to be on like 160, 170 grand a week. And that's not what we want to do. So that's why we have a lot of players who are in that 40, 50, 60, 70 grand market, because they are finer squad players. Like Luis Diaz is on like 55 grand a week. Jota's on like under 100 grand a week. we're in no rush to let these players go because we're replacing them. We're going to have to play players now because of the way the market is, more value. So they're going to have to be over 100k and they're not guaranteed starters. I think that's, I don't know if anyone else agrees with that, but I think that's...
I fully agree, Jamie. I was just thinking about it. Look, if going to what Husam said, if for 4 years, or Mike said, you go and give contract extensions to Salah and Virgil, right? All of a sudden, their extensions are, and obviously you're going to want a bit more money. You got Virgil on 300, or 350, you got Salah on 400 for 4 years. Any player that you go and try and get, and again, you're going to have to get a player that's going to be one of the main guys as well, right? Because he's going to want to restructure it. He's going to look at it like Omar Marmoush and be like, yeah, give me 300. Haaland's on 500. You can give me 300. So all of a sudden, the player comes in like, yeah, I'm going to be on 250.
But
now,
the
what?
reason why
Waymo
they
coming in
don't-
on 250?
No, but that's not how it works.
But-
I don't think Mbeumo or Kvaratskhelia or any of them would have asked for like Salah or Van Dijk level wages or even close to them.
But that's not Van Dijk level wages. But if they're coming in, if they're coming in and they're being told, yeah, you're coming to Liverpool, but you're going to be the main figurehead of this new look Liverpool team because in the next couple of years, Virgil van Dijk and Salah are going. Yeah, no, of course. You got to give me 200, 250.
That leads into the way that we're run, though.
Yeah, but then
Like-
Kvaratskhelia is getting 150 grand a week. That's completely doable.
But the reason they didn't go for it...
Is not the player they wanted, to be fair. When
Yeah,
it comes
because
to him, I just don't
you
think
got
they rated him
Gakpo.
like that.
Yeah, because you got...
That's
I
an
think
even
they-
bigger problem.
I think they looked at Cody Gakpo and Cody Gakpo's output is probably going to be similar, the same or a little bit more than Kvaratskelia's output if you play for Liverpool, in their opinion. And they don't feel like there's having a point of that same player coming and being on the same wage as Cody Gakpo. Now, I'm not saying that's correct. I'm saying that's what the club are looking at.
Fact.
So that's why they want. So if they were willing to let Cody go, that's why when Paul Joyce put out his article, he said if the club are willing to let other players go. So if someone came in for Cody Gakpo and gave us 50 million, they go, all right, there's 50. Right, Cody Gakpo's out the door. We'll go and get Kvaratskhelia now, give him Cody Gakpo's wage, which he's on at PSG, and then you still got Luis Diaz there on 70 grand a week. So then you still got that. You still got the same in FSG's eyes. You stayed the same financially. They will never go get a Kvaratskhelia. Although they could afford him, give him 150 grand a week, Gakpo 150 grand a week, Luis Diaz on 70 grand a week, all in three in the same positions. Now, as a club, I'd say go and do it.
I understand you're explaining their perspective, but
yeah,
their perspective is wrong, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm
perspective is
agreeing.
wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's what the thing. Like what they're
Not
doing.
wrong, Husam.
No, it's wrong. I'll tell you why it's
is.
wrong. Because eventually this leads to disaster in the world of football.
No,
Because if everyone and here's the thing, let's use Arsenal as a measuring stick. Look at Arsenal as a measuring stick. 4 years ago, if I told any of you Arsenal will challenge for the league, you'd all laughed in my face. You would have literally all laughed in my face 4 years ago. For 2 years running, they've finished above us. Why? Consistent investment. This gap that we're talking about, like, haha, we laugh at Chelsea, haha, we laugh at Man United, we laugh at all these clubs. If they continue to spend and we continue to stagnate, these clubs will close the gap on us as well. This is bigger than just, I'm ambitious, I want to beat City, I'm ambitious, I want to beat Arsenal. The other clubs are going to close the gap as well. And all of a sudden, you find yourself trying to get back to top 4. And the reason why this doesn't make financial sense is, there's another reason as well. It will cost a lot more than what we're going to give them as wages to replace the 3.
Yeah.
So if I want to find a Salah replacement, even 3 levels below him, that's at least 60, 70 million. I could give that to him in wages in 3 years and get money from Saudi when he eventually wants to move. Same with Virgil, same with Trent. If I were to replace any of these 3 players, I need to pay minimum 60 million. And financially, I could give Salah a 30 million contract for the next 3 years. Same with Virgil, same with Trent. And then based off of that, 3 years later, 2 years later, you want to leave? I'll sell you. I'll make money back. And let's be serious. Even when Salah is 34, you could get 40 million for him. Even when Van Dijk is 34, 35, you could get 25, 30 million for him. Even Trent, you could probably get a bit more money for him. But like, even then, in the words of Mike, that's better than 0. Like that number is better than 0. And then for the next 2 years at least, I don't have to spend my money replacing 3 of the greatest players we have seen play for Liverpool.
It's the same. They might So with Salah, yeah, Salah's on 350, yeah, 400. I think he's on 350 basic, and he has 50,000 in bonuses. So he takes home 400 grand a week. He leaves the football club. Let's say that he leaves the football club. He doesn't sign a new contract. Liverpool then would look at maybe someone like Brian Mbeumo, yeah? I don't think that's the right case, right? It's not the right, but they would look at him. He's on 50 grand a week at the moment at Brentford, yeah? They can double his wage and put him on 100 grand because they can put him on 100, 110, something like that a week. They can also, at the same time, because of that, go and find another right winger as well and put them on around 70 or 80 grand a week. Then they've got two right wingers who are not Salah's level, nowhere near, but they'll have two that are still less than Salah's wages. That's why we've never got a right winger to go and sit with. We've always said, why haven't we got a right winger that can come in for Mo? Is because you're going to have to find a player who's going to be good enough quality to play for Liverpool in the first place, and then come on and do a job if Mo's not available. That kind of player's going to be on 140, 150. So they're never going to do it. And I'm not saying this is right, by the way. I'm just giving my
Why shouldn't they not do that though? They should do it. If you need players
to
come in and help this squad to be better, then we're gonna have to spend that kind of money. We're gonna have to get players. And every time we mention the key ones, we go, someone has to come in and replace these guys. Numbers wise, we don't need them to, but quality wise, in terms of can you make a difference within this team? Can you make the right pass, the right assist, the right shot, the right decision in the right moments? There's players out there that you can easily go and get to come in and do that. But because we always go, whoa, this guy is doing this, we need someone to come in and do equal, if not more. We're like, this is an anomaly what Salah is doing. You don't need someone that's going to come in. You just need someone that's going to come in, beat a man, get the ball in the box, and then fingers crossed we've bought a striker to go and finish off these chances. We don't need to go out there and spend mad money to do that, but we're not even doing that now. We're just like, and also you have to blame the manager as well. How can the manager sit there and go, I'm happy with what the squad is at the moment? If we're all going to believe there's an issue with, let's say, Darwin,
he has to say that publicly, though. Publicly, he has to say that.
But we can't do that, though, Husam, because on one hand, we can't say this manager speaks his mind, and the other hand, we're like, well, he's going to defend the players.
No, but he comes in knowing.
He said defensively he was.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he comes in knowing what the squad is, isn't it? So it's not like he comes in and all of a sudden he doesn't know. Before he comes to the club, he already knows what the players are. He then has. So he already knows the situation where he's in, and he's already got a plan to be like, okay, for now we're gonna go and keep it like this because, of course, we had the situation with the whole manager situation. We need to kind of tie down these contracts, right? Cool. And yeah, I want Zubimendi. That's the number one guy, but there's no point getting a number two because I'm gonna want to move him on anyway because I don't want McAllister or Gravenberch anyway.
Oh, sorry, Sam. Sorry.
As an example, so let's just wait. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. And I don't think he's going in there thinking, yeah, man, like this squad's rubbish. I don't even think he thought we're going to be challenging for the league. Hence why he's always saying he's not happy. He's always saying he's not happy, every game. No, I'm not happy with the way he plays, I'm not really happy with the way we did this. Yeah, good result.
The squad was built. The squad was built for Jurgen Klopp, not Arne Slot.
Exactly.
This is why I feel like these conversations always revert back to that first point that I made about the ambition. Because no matter what, we find ourselves coming in a full circle back to the idea that the main difference between us and the other 10 teams in the top revenue generators on the planet is that we prioritize differently. Arsenal want to win a league, so they go and they spend 100 million on Declan Rice, even though they make less money than us, and they don't even make a profit. And mind you, only 20 teams make a profit. And I've made this point countless times this week. Financially speaking, our comparables, our brothers, play in the championship. It's Burnley and Norwich City. So congratulations to Liverpool. You break the same way that Burnley does. That is your financial competitor in terms of the Deloitte accounting, giant report that they do every single season where they break down revenue, they break down profit. It's public information. You can all go and look it up. I'm not just talking out of my ass here. That's who we compare to in terms of business structure. The difference is that Chelsea don't add $100 million to their stadium. They buy players. Manchester City have played in the same stadium since Sergio Aguero won them the league on the final day. They don't need to add to it, right? Real Madrid can build a new stadium because everyone on the planet goes to Madrid to see Madrid because they're the biggest club in the world. Yes, adding seats to Liverpool, great in terms of business. XYZ, building a new training center, great. But ultimately, the priorities of this club are different from others. You can't sit here and tell me that the Reds have got no money and we will win the league, because that's just the club spouting the nonsense into the crowd and feeding them to play this underdog story, because ultimately the priorities will never align. And because they will never align, I'm going to continuously do my head in like all of you guys do, because we sit here and we say, why aren't they doing these things? Why aren't they doing the fundamentals? Why aren't they doing the basics?
Yeah, quick question for the panel then, right? Because we keep talking about why don't they just sign them up? Why don't they just sign them up? What if they've given them contracts and Salah doesn't want to sign? And he's spewing this nonsense about, I want to be here for his own PR because he wants to make it seem like he wants to be at Liverpool and be remembered as a legend and not be the person that wants to leave, right? Like the way Trent's being viewed. And maybe Virgil doesn't want to sign as well. And maybe Trent doesn't just want to sign. And maybe they've been trying to go and push these contracts on these players. These players don't want to sign, but at the same time, Liverpool can't spin PR about.
Yeah, but then you're just conspiracizing. You're conspiracizing conspiracy
theories. But
you can only go off of what we know for a fact. And what we know for a fact is Salah and Van Dijk, we agree, have spoken publicly, they want to stay. With Trent, that logic can only apply to Trent for me, not the other two.
No, but Husam, we shouldn't even be talking about wages, guys.
Because they don't even need to publicly say that they're going to stay to be remembered as legends. They're legends.
No, but Husam, it's not about that. I'm saying when Salah's been asked whether he wants to stay, right? The same narrative that we speak about and that's been about Trent. Trent hasn't come out and said anything. When Salah's been asked, he doesn't answer directly and says, I love the club. I love the fans. He doesn't say, I want to stay. That doesn't suggest to me.
Was that your Murray
says this is my last year?
Show me someone. No. Honestly, because this is why I don't talk about this off the field stuff. No one can show me a direct quote where Virgil van Dijk or Salah said, "I want to stay at the club, but they're not offering me a contract." There's no further negotiations on my contract, and I love the club. So if the club, based on what Jamie said, based on what Jamie said about them offering them a contract. If they've given him a contract and he doesn't want to sign, from FSG's point of view, this is what I want to put out there. What are they supposed to do if these guys don't want to sign?
Get the job done. That's it. I'm sorry. Like I hate how simplistic that is. But like again, that reverts back to the club's objectives. Like in my eyes, I don't give a shit about profit because no one makes profit. This is not a profitable sport. I would rather have a singular owner who puts his own money into the club in order to win us trophies. City win trophies because Sheikh Mansour wants trophies. That's it. I like whether you want to make the argument about 115, that's it. Arsenal are trying to win trophies because that's what Stan Kroenke does.
Okay, can I just answer Jared's thing about Salah quickly?
Right. Go ahead.
BN Sports. Salah, I want to stay at Liverpool as long as I can. Sky Sports, I want to stay at Liverpool for as long as I can. This is Anfield.
When was this?
Some are older, some are newer. This 2024.
Now, recent ones, not
okay, no problem. November 2024.
In the summer.
Salah really wants to stay and open to compromise. 2024 again. Liverpool told Salah wants to stay. Give me sport. Salah wants to stay. Diario AS, which is the Italian newspaper, also wants to stay. Like,
is that what they've made up and said he wants?
No. This is him actually speaking. This right here is another quote. I want to stay at Liverpool.
I've not seen him say he wants to stay at Liverpool Football Club.
You could literally just open new tab and Google Salah want to stay. That's it, and you'll find all these.
I don't. What quotes? And I watch a lot of his interviews. Yeah, he's not.
I want to stay at Liverpool, but it's not in my hands. It's in their hands.
Why is it in their hands? Why isn't it not in his hands?
Because if they're giving him a contract
he's not compromising,
the contract that he wants, he shouldn't sign it.
No, they offered him contract, but he doesn't want to compromise.
Yeah, okay. If they're giving him 200 grand a week for 2 years, why should he sign it?
That's
why not? You want to stay here?
Wait, hold on.
You don't want to stay here, bro.
Don't be disingenuous, and that's why no one believes you when he says you hate Nunez.
Sam, you can't tell me you want to do something. You want to be.
You're very disingenuous when it comes to Salah.
No, I know. I'm not, bro. I'm being realistic and logical. How can you turn around and say you want to be here? And I go, here's the room to be here. Here's a 2-year contract. Stay then. You want to be here, and you go, no, it's not good for me. Then you don't want to stay here. Then it's about.
Do you want to stay with your wife forever?
No, you can't. It's not. You can't.
Okay, but if you want to stay with your wife forever, but she says, "I want to cheat on you every week," Are you gonna
No, but
stay?
it's not the same.
Yeah, but
Wissam.
your
That's
basic
what I'm saying.
statement is I want to stay
Wissam,
with my
if
wife.
we're
Stay
gonna
with
have
her
a proper
then.
conversation.
It
Let's
doesn't
not
matter. Stay with her.
Wissam,
Be a man of your word. Stay with her.
No, Wissam. Let's have proper conversation.
That's,
Let's not
no,
water it
that's
down
not
to add
gonna,
that.
that's your
Let's
logic.
not water it down. You can't tell
You're
me.
saying, regardless of what he's being offered, he should just sign it.
No, it's
which
not
is
about
insanity.
No, because it's not going to be dumb money. It's not going to be massive. It's not even going to be a wage drop off. I don't think. I think it's going to be exact same. It's just less on the years. If you're telling me, bro, this is the club for me. I want to stay here and be here, and the club goes, you know what? Stay on the same money, but we can't give you 3. We're going to give you 2. And then you say,
and
nah,
since
that's
you want
not good
direct
enough.
quotes, since you want direct quotes, this direct quotes, Jerry, because I looked this up last time. You brought it up in my chat. This when he was interviewed by the Norwegian channel. Asked where his future lies by Norwegian channel TV2, Salah says, if you ask, I say I want to stay here as long as I can. But as I have said before, it is in the hands of the club.
I
will always give what.
21, Husam, and what you
No,
said
this is 2024.
I can take
This is 18th January, literally, of this year. January 18th, 2024.
Norwegian says now on Norwegian TV saying that.
Ends. I'm going to send it to you right now, right?
He gave an interview.
But hold on. Directly, see when after Southampton game, when he's taking his top off and he's gone into the media suite, that interview right there, they asked him directly, do you want to stay? He did not answer directly. He said, I love the club and I love the fans. That was a perfect.
I just gave you a direct quote.
But hold on.
I just said, if you ask, I say I want to stay here as long as I can. What more obvious? Like, what do you want to say?
We need to take one step back.
2021. That's what I'm trying to.
No, this is 2024. I'm looking at the article.
Quotes are not the end of the world, right? What Endz is saying has validation. Like, if the club are proposing something, and the player says that's not good enough for me, that's a valid point. But at the same time, I have to flip the coin, and I also have to say, well, how important is this player? Both sides need to compromise. It's not just Salah needs to compromise to what FSG wants. FSG also needs to compromise to the player that has 70% of the goal involvements at the club. There needs to be a middle ground, and that's your job. That's Richard Hughes's job. That's Michael Edwards' job to find the middle ground, because the detriment to losing Mohamed Salah is greater than the detriment of having to overpay him for a year, when in reality you could end up selling him to Saudi Arabia. So I think that your points are valid in the idea that he needs to compromise, but you also need to weigh the risks of the situation.
Of which he's already said publicly
it's more dire if I don't compromise to him, especially in the case of Mo and Virgil.
Read the date as well.
No, Husam, read the article. It's David Lynch saying Salah wants to really stay. It's not him saying.
But he's publicly said, okay, Jerry, you tell me, do you want to stay with your wife? I want to. I love my wife, and I want to stay here as long as possible.
But Husam, this is the point, though.
He said, I want to stay directly.
No. But this is the point, right? You can love the club, right? You can love the club, love where you're at, but still not want to stay for whatever reason it is. It's because Jurgen Klopp left. It's because the club's more than just. There's so many factors that come to you wanting to stay. What I'm trying to say is, if Salah does not sign, and as Jamie said, they've offered him a contract, right? So he doesn't want to stay enough. He doesn't want to stay enough.
That's just once again, you're all reaching, because if I'm giving, so you're saying Salah now. I'll tell you, but there's a rebuttal to it. You're saying, okay, so Salah, you really love the club, you want to stay. Okay, here's 200 grand a week for a year. Yalla, sign it.
No, but I don't think. Hold on, no. But I'll put it out there again, because I don't know if they've offered Salah less money. Then of course, if I'm Salah, I'm not signing at all, and I'm coming out and saying they're disrespecting me. But logically,
but that's what he's doing, and you're blaming him.
No, he's not, Husam. No, he's not, Husam.
Yes, he is. When he says, I'm willing to sign, but it's in the hands of the club, he's telling you he's not getting
Husam, you're using conjecture.
Minimum, you're going to keep him on what he's on. That's the bare minimum.
No, you're the ones using conjecture. You're the one conspiracizing based off of something that doesn't exist in reality.
You just
Van Dijk and let me make it clear first. Van Dijk and Salah both have publicly made it clear that they want to stay. Period. We must all agree on this point. Now,
there is some breaking news, by the way.
Based off of that, it's now on the club to give them what they want to stay, and or try to get to a compromise in the
breaking news: Salah sold. End of conversation.
No, I think is it Al? How do you say the name?
Al Ali.
Al Hilal.
Yeah. Apparently, they have an agreement in place with Van Dijk and Mo Salah, and they're meeting at
I've heard
Liverpool.
There you go,
week.
man. See?
I've heard this all week.
And they're meeting
Yeah,
at
but
Liverpool.
I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
they're
don't know.
meeting where?
All I'm saying,
Liverpool's London offices.
all I'm saying, and this is the way I look at things, right? Someone just telling me they love the club and love this. It's evident
I agree,
he loves
Jerry.
the club. It's evident that they do. But if someone tells me directly, do you want to stay? That for me is a yes or no answer. If you go and go around the bush, you're missing the point for me. If you beat around the bush and you're like, oh, but I love the club and the fans, I love the fans and the fans love me, that's not being straight up with me. So therefore, the way I look at it from my perspective, if now they do not sign and they've been offered contracts, you did not want to stay enough. Whether that's, and that again, Liverpool should offer them whatever they want. I agree. But from their perspective, they didn't want to stay enough because they've been offered contracts and they're saying, no, I don't. Now, of course, if they've been offered less, disrespect, don't sign. But in my opinion, there's no way they're offering them less. They're going to offer them minimum what they're on now. So what they're saying is, I'm not staying if you don't pay me more. That for me,
they don't love the club as much as you're pretending that they do.
Pay me, and I'll stay. That's not. I want to stay.
The only way we're ever going to get the answer to this is if the summer comes and neither of them sign, and someone leaks what all of the offers were. Outside of that, this is all conjecture. Like we are assuming that because of the way that both of them speak, they want to stay at the club, because neither of them have word for word in an interview this season said, I want to keep my ass in Liverpool, make it happen. That doesn't exist. And also for a player in a contract situation, in any sport, you really don't hear that, because then you begin to lose leverage. And if you lose leverage, you lose money. And if you lose money, well, what else are you doing here? I mean, at the end of the day, this is a sport about money, whether you like it or not. That's just the way that it is. Ultimately, it comes down to the fact that both sides need to compromise. And from my perspective, FSG need to compromise more because of the risk of losing them and what that would cost us. But if they don't do it, now all of a sudden I have to trust the club that I don't trust to go out there and make the right £30 million.
Facts.
They have to make the right £30 million risk, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but like 7 times, literally. But they got to replace.
The other side of it is that might, they don't know or can predict when their drop off's going to happen. They don't want to find themselves into these players, and then for next season, them man go, we're going on holiday, but we're just going to chill. I'm not saying they would.
No,
but say they do that, and then they're on a mad amount of money. What do we then do? Then we're going to be like, bro, we need more players. They'll be like, listen, you guys preferred us to keep these, man. We was going to go out there and buy other players to come in. You guys said, nah, you rather these guys. So here's what. Deal with the consequences.
I think
no one's going to care about that. They're just going to blame the owners again.
To be honest with you, I truly think that the only reason why this is an epidemic, like the only reason why that this is the end of the world, is because it's free. The only reason why is because there's a big fat zero. If there wasn't a zero, I think that everyone's perspective would be much different to what it is right now. But that's just like.
But then saying that, didn't we reject a massive bid for Salah last year?
Exactly, right? We rejected that bid. So there's already a point where I can go back to and I can say, you know what? I could have nipped this in the butt then and gotten 150 million. Now the contract's running out and I'm going to get £0. Now that's 3 players that I'm going to get £0 from.
Yeah.
So if the only reason why
financially it makes no sense.
The only reason why this is the end of the world is because there's a zero.
But Mike, the difference last year is that did that offer come in when Klopp still ain't said anything about leaving?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because last summer.
I honestly think these players, 2 of the 3 or 1 of the 3 at least,
they were going to play for Klopp.
Would have signed if Klopp was still here, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah,
this is what
they're
I'm saying.
Klopp's boys, so it's a different world in what we're in now to last summer, ain't it? Yeah.
Just to be realistic, like, does anyone here genuinely think if you lose all 3 and you go out and you buy 3 players, does that automatically mean you're in 6th place? No, Husam, I'm not even trying to be a dickhead. I'm just saying from the club's perspective.
If we lose Virgil van Dijk It might be
It's
worse.
Virgil. It's Virgil. Who's
I don't
Okay,
think. You know
okay.
what? I'm going to be honest.
I'm just
I don't
asking a
think-
question.
I don't think Liverpool end up 6th, 7th, 8th. I don't think so. If they spend
So
if they have to replace them,
fifth at worst, which means
Okay,
Champions League
Jay,
if
let me
England
ask
does
that.
good
I
enough.
think. Do you think Kanate and someone else can hold it down?
they can get 5th. 5th. What you're saying that
This
Hey,
is remember,
No,
Husam.
Virgil
This
van
is
Dijk-
FSG
Virgil van Dijk
eyes.
enabled
This
us
is
to like.
FSG eyes.
Bear in mind, before these players, we were.
This
that
is exactly
position
how
anyway.
football clubs collapse. This is literally what we're
and it's crazy.
Bro, I wanted to
Imagine,
that about
imagine a Madrid fan having this conversation.
It's not
There's
that
never-
I want Daddy Elon to spend $7 billion. Overpaid.
It's not
Buy
that I
me.
don't
Let's
rate.
go.
Jay, it's
Alright,
not that I
but
don't rate Kanate.
Hey,
Jay.
maybe Elon
I'm
Musk ain't
No,
that
but-
bad
alright,
after
I'm
all.
just saying,
Husam, right?
Virgil holds us down, bro. He holds us
No, but
down.
No, but I agree. Remember, Virgil's my favorite player, so that's someone I never want to see go, right? But I'm saying, let's say these guys go, right? And
But
Liverpool
why?
end up
From a
third.
business perspective, Jerry, from FSG's perspective and stuff like why
You
you
know,
want
None of
to-
us align with them.
Again,
Husam.
I
Don't
talk
do
about
that.
it.
We're just
talking
giving all the
about it.
sides.
But ultimately, I can't control this stuff anyway. So I just care about what happens on the football pitch. That's where it matters for me.
Life
Like,
scraps,
I don't.
bro.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, but all the problem is all these things affect what happens on the football pitch.
No, they can, but ultimately, with the cards that you're dealt with, I just want to see the best performance in it. If at the end, if I'm seeing our players that are performing to the absolute limit, to the best limit that they can, and it's 4th or 5th, then I can look at FSG and be like, yeah, we need to buy players. But ultimately, we're looking at it, and it's like we're at a different scale. We want to go and challenge for the titles and stuff like that. So that's where it's a bit different. What I'm saying is, we're talking about like this, and we're very kind of pessimistic about, if they go, we're screwed, right? But if they go and Liverpool do well, then what?
Then they're
But
fucking
it won't
geniuses, and all of us have to hold that forever and ever.
And that's my point. But it goes
Yeah,
back
but
to
it won't
your point,
happen,
Mike.
though. There's
We
a reason
don't
why that
trust-
won't
We
happen.
don't trust that
Look
they
at
can
this
deliver on
year.
that. That's where it is.
Look
We
at
don't
look at
trust
this
they
year
can deliver on that.
specifically.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
know.
this year specifically.
We've
These
only
world
dropped
class
13
players have
points
won
in
us
20 games. It's pretty bad.
These same players, these same world class players have won us games of football on their own in different games. And that's the difference between why are we here to begin with, is because these players performing at that elite level. At the end of the day, Salah having 40 GA in December is not normal. Van Dijk being the best centre back in the world, age 33, is not normal. Trent, for the most part, has been unbelievable this season defensively compared to what he usually is. And what he offers you as a right back and as a playmaker is also not normal, because that's not anywhere else to be found. Now, if I remove all of that and I put in Waymo, Bradley, and whoever, like Morello, by definition, I'm going to get way worse. By definition, it cannot get better than this unless I get better players at a younger age. Meaning, if I sell Salah, get Vinicius. If I sell Van Dijk, get Saliba. If I sell Trent and get like that one is different, because you're getting world-class / top-class players at a much younger age. So you have them for a longer period of time. So that part, it could happen. But we don't do that, though. We're going to get significantly like lower quality players that might one day, 3-4 years from now, become that level. That's why we're going to drop down. Like, I think we will be like closer to a Newcastle than we'll be like to a Man City.
Why don't we wait till the end of the season and offer them a contract?
Because I am not reactive, I'm proactive. Endz, you want to be reactive like the club. When shit hits the fan, you're gonna say, "Oh, shit hit the fan, guys."
That is a possible scenario, though.
Shit is gonna hit the fan.
I asked because I feel like if you give them a contract now, these men might drop off their performance. I say just let them sweat, bro.
Maybe this is why we're performing like this. Maybe
yeah,
this
bro. Because Salah's like, "Yo, listen, I'm scoring bare goals and assisting. Give me that contract." Virgil's like, "Listen, I'm not falling off. I'm not declining. Give me my contract." Trent, all of a sudden, Trent wants to try and defend apart from the Man United game. I think just let them man their sweat till the end of the season, see what we win, man, and then give them a deal.
Do you think? I think that ideally the best time to do it would be to win the league or win the Champions League and then do it, because that gives an extra motivating factor, because we're still good, right? But the only question that remains there then is, do you trust the integrity of these three individuals to not go behind your back and sign an agreement with another club? That's it. Like that's the pendulum. You have to bank that.
Mike, they all said
otherwise none of this works.
But Mike, if we're going to believe the quotes that Husam read out, they also said they're going to give Liverpool the priority first.
This is
to see if we can get a deal done. So I've heard from quotes, then man, they say that. So
this is the
let's
question.
See if they're being honest.
Also, remember, if you win both of the, I mean, somehow we win both of them, all of a sudden you're swimming in cash, because now you got the Champions League money and you got the Premier League money, which means, hey, Trent, you know what? 300 grand a week to literally fall asleep at right back position? No biggie. I'm swimming in cash. Virgil, you know what? You want to retire? Big guy. Here's 400K a week. Have a great swim in Mallorca. You know what? We don't even need you this week. It's all good, buddy.
I wonder if there's something a bit egotistical about the way we run at times, because, we're talking about Salah, Virgil, and and Trent, who came through obviously the youth ranks, Alisson, who came from Roma, Mane from Southampton, Virgil from Southampton. These weren't world class at their clubs. We made them world class, yeah. So my feeling is that, I don't think this is right, by the way, but my feeling is that the club will feel like they can do that again. So if they let a Salah that go, they feel like they can find another
Strike
Salah.
lightning twice.
Yeah, they feel like they can buy another Virgil, because we didn't buy them from elite level football clubs. If we bought them from your Southamptons and stuff like that, Romas, not like elite level clubs. So I feel like the club might feel like they can do that. I personally don't. I don't know if that caliber of player is out there in the world right now for that little price range. I think you have to pay a lot more. My worry about us not signing Mo up right now is that Mamouche has just joined Man City for £307,000 a week, right? He's had one good season his whole career pretty much, and that's this season he's in. And he's like 25, 26. Is Salah going to look at that and go, hang on. So my Egyptian pal, who's had one good year in Europe, is going to Man City for 307 grand a week, and I'm only just on a little bit more than him, and I've been putting up numbers for 8 years straight. Is that contract that Mamouche just signed going to affect us?
According to Endz, he should just sign though.
Give Mo a new contract.
Listen, if you love the club, sign, bro.
You are a fraud. You're the definition of a fraud, Endz.
We are the only big club that has to sit here and talk about the delegation of wages. That's the only point I'm going to make here. Like, we are the only big club that have to sit here for an hour and 20 minutes and talk about penny pinching wages. Arsenal, who make less money than me, can afford more players. Chelsea, who haven't won shit in 5 years, can pay more to more players. I make more money than all these people. I make more money than Tottenham. I don't hear a single Tottenham fucking fan talk about wages ever.
Oh,
I have never heard. Okay, maybe I'm ignorant to the one.
How many Tottenham fans do you listen to though?
That's what I'm saying.
One.
You know what this thing about contracts? I think all fan bases talk about.
Jacob said
We're not involved in their conversations, so we don't know, do we? We're involved in our own conversations. So, yeah, I know people are saying there's no way Mamouche could be. It's apparently on 15 to 16 million.
He's on 300 grand a week, Jamie's
it's 307 grand a week.
They did that, and Erling Haaland just signed an MLB level contract.
10 years.
9.5 years.
No.
247 million pounds.
Secure in the bag, bro.
Mike, do you know what?
500,000 a week.
You do know Man City.
If he loves Man City, you should have signed for less.
Guys, you know Man City are trolling the world, don't you? You do know that
yes, that's 115 months.
115 months, ain't it? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
115 months.
Yeah, 9.5 years.
Why don't
Remember,
we just
9.5 years. It's not a full 10 years, Jerry.
Bro.
It's
It's a troll job.
9.5. Yeah, it's 9.5 years.
Jerry, you want to know why? Like, I really didn't want to talk about the on-the-field stuff this week because I know tomorrow I'm just going to watch Robertson cross it into first man 15 times in a row.
We're
going to hate myself again, and I'm just
We're
like,
winning.
No. Listen. I'm gonna have to whip out my fucking calculator here because we have a 4-point lead with a game in hand, Husam. We ain't going there.
Mike,
Guys, we've got no draws left. The draws.
Yes. What happens if we draw?
Get out of here with that bullshit. Get out of here with that bullshit. Every team is going to
draw.
What happens
if we draw or lose tomorrow? Then what?
I still have at least a 2-point lead. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is why I call you a calculator.
I'm fucking with you, Husam. We have to win tomorrow. We have to win. We have to win.
I think we have to win.
Name Salah, Jerry. I gave him a 0 for that game. I said he was shit.
No. I'm saying if we don't, in general, if we don't now win the league, we have to.
Did you give him a 0? For real?
He did. And right after the game, he said a 0 or a 1. He said Salah has 0 or a 1 today.
Yeah, come on.
Not like me. I don't do player
I'm not
ratings, bro.
I'm not a fraud.
I don't do player ratings. You man are the fraud, bro.
Yeah, I said
And-
Salah was one of our worst players.
You man will watch the
Worst
man put
player.
up a stinker and then bypass him like he didn't exist in the game, bro, and cook everyone else. I see you.
No, this is not true at all.
He did. Hey, but you know, he did
This is
almost back the
propaganda.
winner.
I've said Salah was shit multiple times before. Even in the reverse fixture, in the 1-0 loss, I said Salah
I'll give
was
you that
was
one. I do remember you saying that to me.
Yeah,
He almost
come
got
on,
the winner though.
I'll give
there
you
is
that.
no
87th
player
minute.
above criticism for me. I've criticized Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah. I even said Alisson should have saved that wood shot.
You should have.
If K-Mac was here, they'd given us a Keller monologue. Big up K-Mac.
Oh, no,
you're not. Hold on.
Endz will know this. Don't get me started on Allison's situation.
We're not.
Yeah,
We're not going to do this.
I
We're not going to do this because I just broke down on Endz's stream. I know that you have to contextualize the goals conceded, but in the 7 games in the Premier League that Kelleher played, 2 of them were clean sheets, and he conceded 9 goals in the other 5. So
Couldn't kill him, man.
we're not going to do this. Kelleher is
Was he not
prime
playing
Alisson
without
bullshit.
Konate as well, though?
Yes, but still, many of those goals I can turn back to, especially Anthony Gordon's. Like, I'm sorry, if it hits your forearm, you should be saving the shot. It's a poor effort on goal. It hits you and it goes in the net. Alisson saves that. Alisson did it against Højlund. Right?
No, he couldn't save. He couldn't save.
the side foot, this 5-a-side side foot by Chris Wood.
I know
Like-
that, but the thing is, that's fucking bullshit because that's a great shot.
And that man,
Like,
bro,
he's
When
rolled
it goes
in.
in, if Alisson saves it, we're like, Chris Wood should have done better. It should have been a bit more of a powerful shot.
Name me 3 more goalkeepers on the planet who should be saving that.
Listen, I'll say this to you, Mike. I have never
Kelleher.
subscribed to the Kelleher over
Courtois?
Alisson thing.
Courtois?
Kelleher.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Courtois.
The
but I've
only,
never
the,
subscribed to
the only one I can think of who's saving that 9 times out of 10 is
Raya
Courtois.
saves
Garros.
it. Raya probably saves it.
Our third goalkeeper saves it as well, bro.
Who's had the worst?
Garros.
What Liverpool goalkeepers had the worst mistake this season?
Kelleher,
Kelleher.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
And if he saves
Okay.
that, we got 2 more points better than we have now.
And then if
Yeah,
Alisson
and then
didn't
Mike
let
can bring
them-
out an even bigger calculator.
As I
If
said,
he-
if
if he-
Alisson
if he
don't let
saved-
them chilly
Alright,
shots
Husam,
go in,
come
bro, you know what I mean?
Come
He's
on, you
saving
know
it
you're
as
a
well.
calculator.
I think the Chris Wood goal was a perfectly good goal in the corner, and he took it early.
the Callum, the Hudson one, the first one we played Forest, bro? He didn't even dive. He just slid on his knees.
Ahmad's. Well, hold on. Ahmad's. No. Here's the fucking insane thing. Ahmad
was it off the
Diallo's goal
post?
against us.
Perfect goal.
He actually did slide. I can't even lie. He
Slide
did
on his
slide.
knees,
He
bro.
celebrated, innit? He celebrated.
What I don't understand is that
He did.
Diallo's equalizer against us has been Alisson's worst moment of the season. Like, I don't even think it's comparison.
Oh, my
I don't even think that it's a comparison. He's 2 steps off the center of the goal, which means that you're out of position and you're slow to get to the ground. And if you rewatch it, his hand is about 2 inches from the ball. So if he's in his position, we beat Manchester United 2-1. But then it's just like people are so picky.
He was in his position, then the ball deflected.
Nope. Ahmad
Yeah.
Diallo's goal did not deflect. It did not deflect.
Body, bro. He
Yeah.
just
The
He
only
was-
reason I can think of why Alisson didn't save that is I think he just trusted Robertson to actually block fucking Diallo.
You do know the hardest place for a goalkeeper to save anything is by their feet.
On the
Yes.
ground, yes.
Yeah.
But
And
if
that-
you go
and
back,
that's
if
where-
you go back and you watch the
and that's
goal,
where the
that's
ball
why
went.
Kelleher would have saved it. He's good with his feet.
I don't get
telling
this.
you-
I don't get this Kelleher shit. I think Kelleher's letting loads of goals this season. That was straight.
Same.
I don't
same.
get it. I don't
I
get
don't
it.
either. I don't either.
Have we
Guys,
won more games?
you want to say that Kelleher is a better penalty saver than than Alisson? No problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bring Kelleher on for the penalty shootouts. I don't give a fuck. But please, let's not do this
That-
whole
that-
Kelleher.
that was a
Like, the
good save.
Hudson-Odoi one. Sorry, I just watched it back. That is shocking. You know.
It
That
was
one
a
in
post.
Slid
The
on
one
his
off the
knees.
post. The one off the post.
They actually did these
Oh, no,
slides.
because
You
he-
see the whole shot. The guy
He stepped
cuts
the other
in.
way. Bro,
Yeah,
he stepped
so-
the other way first.
I'll be honest with you. I'll just say this right now, so you guys
Yeah,
are mentally
yeah,
prepared for our
saving
next
that.
Liverpool show. If we draw or lose tomorrow, I'm completely giving up. You lot do what you guys want. You guys do this whole "I believe" bullshit. You guys believe as much as you want. My belief is gone. Khalas. I'm already at like 5% belief anyway. Because the
5%, Husam.
Bro, the
Husam, come on.
PTSD has fucking kicked in. 100% PTSD.
It's time, no,
As
it's
soon as I saw
time to
the
grow the
draw
hair.
against Forest, I'm like, fuck off. And when I
Hold
saw the draw against Man United, I was also like, fuck off. I'm not gonna do 3 fuck offs in a row. The third one, khalas. I'm like, at the end of the stream, I promise you tomorrow, inshallah, watch along will be there. I will say, guys, listen, it's been a fantastic journey. Where we had a lot of fun this year. You get me?
Therapy
But
starts.
unless in the next, unless in the next 12 days,
Husam,
listen, let me
hold
just
on.
say this. Unless the next 12 days we sign like 3 players, this is done, guys. You guys,
Take
who wins the league? I don't give a fuck. Forest,
One step
Arsenal,
away from the
City,
ledge.
Chelsea, I don't care. It's just not gonna be us because I know
One-
we're gonna fucking bottle it.
take a step away from the ledge because I just want to go over these fixtures.
You can't
Because if we
save me,
beat-
Mike. You
Hold on,
can't.
I'm
It's
going
too
to
late.
save you right now. I'm going to save you right now.
Already.
Husam,
Let him talk you
I
off
have
the
to.
ledge, man. Let him talk you off the ledge.
I have to try to throw you a life vest. All right. I know you can't swim, but I have to throw you a life vest. We're
I actually
playing
can't
Brentford.
swim.
It was just a metaphor. Brentford, then Ipswich, Bournemouth, Everton, Wolves, then City. Right. Those are our games up until February 23rd. Arsenal have to go Villa, Wolves, City, Leicester, West Ham, and Forest, right? If we beat Brentford, and we have an easier schedule from now until the time we play Manchester City than Arsenal do in that same period. So we're literally in a one game at a time moment right now. Like, ignore the table, ignore all of these points dropped, ignore all of that. You have an easier run in up until the hardest game of the season. As long as we go game by game and we win week by week, we have a
But
greater
Mike-
chance of not dropping points than Arsenal.
Mike,
If
you want to
we
talk about
drop
run-ins?
in that easy run,
You want to
that
talk
said,
about run-ins? Have you seen the Arsenal run-in? Our run-in's a lot more difficult. I've got to go to Villa away. I got to go to Brentford away. I got to go to Brighton away. I got to go to City away. I got to go to Chelsea away. I've got to play Arsenal at home. You get me? I've got to play Spurs at home. That's 7 fucking and I've got to go to Everton.
But Husam,
Which
we've been
I won
really
once
good on the
there.
road. though.
Okay,
7 years.
Chelsea,
Well,
In
we've
one
been
of
really
their
good on the
games,
road.
I have used all my draws.
we haven't
It's
we haven't lost
Done.
a game on the road.
But we've been
Villa
good on
are
the
not the
road, Husam.
same. Stamford Bridge is not the same.
Villa are not the same, but when you're referring to it from an Arsenal perspective, it's a difficult game. So
We're a
okay,
better
Villa are
team than them, that's
from us, our perspective. We have to play Villa
Oh,
away.
because we're so
I'm
much
not-
better. Like, we're like
Okay.
yeah, we're-
You know what?
So much
If you
He's
want to
on
be
the ledge,
negative,
Mike.
you
Can't
can be
help it.
negative. If
So
you want to be
much-
on the ledge, live on the
I'm
ledge.
telling everyone right now, tomorrow, Liverpool Brentford, watch along. We'll be there, inshallah. If the game does not end with 3 points for Liverpool, everyone continue to do this kumbaya believe.
No,
and
you have
I'm
to
the
win tomorrow.
God
You
on
have to
earth
win tomorrow.
bullshit. If
No
we
one is
don't win, I'm
disagreeing.
done. I'm gonna
have
say,
to
guys,
win.
listen, Champions League, we have to focus because it's over. Khalas. For me, I'm fucking give up completely.
Unless, of
Who
course,
finishes
Arsenal draw
first is
too.
not my business because it won't be us. That's all I'm saying. You get me? So
So
Husam,
Arsenal,
would you step off the ledge, Husam, if we win and Arsenal lose?
if we win and Arsenal lose, it's not just ledge. I'm now on GTA. I have a parachute, and I have made the cheat code of you can't die in this game. So it's different. You get me? So,
Right, that's
Okay,
all
so
happens tomorrow.
you're basically full bipolar mode. Like, depending on the result, you're full bipolar.
No,
Fuck
he said
yeah,
it's
I'm
PTSD.
bipolar.
No, Mike. He
Fuck
said he's
yeah,
got
I'm
PTSD.
bipolar.
It's
100%.
pills or nothing right now. There's nothing else that's going to help this guy.
Yeah, but the
Okay,
thing is,
okay, I
with
got
AJ,
you.
I own it. I'm completely running on just pure PTSD to fuck right now. Like I'm completely PTSD. Like it's just listen, JJ, you cannot tell me you have not seen these same faces against Forest that you have seen in 18-19 and the quadruple charge season and last season. You saw that same look at the end of the game where they're like,
But we didn't have
fuck,
Arnie Slot.
to the one.
We
You
didn't have
know
Arnie
this.
Slot.
I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
looked-
we had such a
I
shit
did.
we
manager.
didn't have Man City.
We had
Yeah,
a shit
Man
manager,
City.
you know,
Yeah.
called
I looked at
Jurgen
McAllister's face, and
Shit.
McAllister just looked lost. He looked like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, huh? Like, where am
No.
I? I was like, oh no.
I will
Listen,
keep saying it.
he
The
only
only,
won one of everything. He only won one of everything.
I will keep saying
Actually,
it.
we
The
won 2 Carabao Cups. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. The only difference is this year we haven't got City chasing us, and it's Arsenal. It's literally the only difference.
Yeah, that's fine.
Arsenal will drop points as well. Arsenal's next 3 games are tricky.
Thing is, you know, with
Liverpool
Arsenal,
got to keep
you know,
winning.
Their running is easier though, a lot easier.
I
Habibi.
think-
Their running is a lot easier. Keep this
But
in
that's
mind.
when they
please.
fuck up. They don't fuck up against Big Six sides. Arsenal have not lost a game against the Big Six side in 636 days.
the
They
smaller
fuck up
teams.
against Fulham. They fuck up against Bournemouth.
How does Mike
That's
know
why-
all these random stats?
That's
how do you
because
just know that?
because I'm a
Paying
fucking
attention to
genius.
them, bro.
Because
That's
I'm a
why.
fucking genius.
Yeah, just
But
out of nowhere,
that's-
636 days.
It's
That's
something like that.
crazy.
I think it's either 636 or it's like 640.
Give me came
something.
back a run for his money right now.
But regardless, Arsenal. Honestly, if you were to ask Lee Gunner right now who has the harder run in, he would say them because they don't lose to big teams. They lose to Fulham at home. They draw to Aston Villa at home. That's where they fuck up. Which is why, if anything, I should be resolved in some sort of confidence in the fact that They've already gotten the games that they don't lose out of the way. Now the games that they lose are in front of them. We, last season, I think we only picked up like 18 out of 39 possible points against the Big Six. That's where we need to win. So regardless, we need to beat the Big Six sides.
Thing is, the problem we've got, right, and I think Arsenal fans do this a lot because they're suffering from PTSD as well, right? They've only lost 2 games. All it takes is for them to go on a cheeky run, and all of a sudden they're right there in the mix. I think, like, listen, Arsenal, we know they haven't done anything, but they're a team that you can't really beat. Very similar to Liverpool, they're difficult to beat. They've only lost 2 games in the league.
Yeah, they just drawn a lot.
If Liverpool lose tomorrow, as to Sam's point, if Liverpool lose tomorrow, we've lost the same amount of games. Now,
Are you joining us up on the ledge, Jay? Are you joining him on the ledge?
JJ's fully on the ledge.
I'm trying to bring him off, but I'm looking down.
Big up, Jerry. Me and him are on the ledge
right now.
Let's go. We're jumping off, mate. Jumping off, mate.
I'm saying Arsenal. I don't know. I feel like their fans. I've got so much PTSD. They're looking for cracks everywhere. And I know, look, they should need to be winning a cup and all of that. But when it comes to the league, right, they're there or thereabouts, and they have been for the last 2 years.
But JJ, that's why I'm saying, before I do the super chats, I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I'll just do them and we'll wrap up. Bro, there's a reason why I called this title race the Battle of the Bottle Jobs. It's 2 bridesmaids. One of them is going to be the bride. I don't know who. I hope it's us.
Tell me about momentum again. Tell me about momentum.
And then suddenly, all out of nowhere, there is just this bison running into the wedding, about to just knock both of them out, called Nottingham Forest. If that happens, then we must all liquidate. You get me? I heard what Endz was saying, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. Bro, if that happens, just fucking liquidate it. I'll be
forget the fucking contract.
Is there left back?
No stream,
relegation.
Bro. Gaming. Just do
relegation.
Do gaming. If we don't win this league, do gaming. That's all I'm saying.
I can't have that rubbish centre back Milenkovic winning the Premier League. That will irk me, you know. He's horrible.
Yeah.
Nico Williams will have the same amount of Premier Leagues as Mohamed Salah. That's something you have to
Yeah, that's actually insane. Anyway, guys, just to prove a point from earlier on, we have been sent a receipt.
No, I'm wrong. He'll have more because he won one with us. He'll have 2.
No, he wasn't there.
Oh, he wasn't there.
Well, let me double check.
Was he not a part of the youth rotation then? So therefore, he would have gotten a medal.
Right.
No, wasn't that the year where we had Calvin Ramsey and stuff?
No, you got to play 5 games. You got to play 5 games.
Oh, actually, he does have a fucking medal. Oh,
I told you, he'll have more than Mohamed Salah.
Technically, Salah has a medal with Chelsea. Big up, Chelsea. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. We just have a receipt to show you quickly from one of the viewers of Football with Endz. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. You get me? Just to prove a point where I tell you he cosplays as a Salah fan, but he's truly a Nunez fan. Watch his reaction to the stupidest stat in human history.
Can someone check this stat?
Okay, wait, Mike, can I ask you a question?
1 second. Can someone check this stat? Is it true that we haven't lost a game with Nunez?
Can no one check this stat? See this stat?
No, I checked one game.
Against Forest.
Well, we've only lost 1 game, so it wouldn't be that hard to check it.
Ends today is not today for Nunez.
No, Mr. Link, he's put his hard-earned money in there.
Yeah. Hey, big up Mr. Link.
Today's not today.
We haven't lost a game with Quanta in the lineup either, if you want to do that.
No. Let's check that one, bro. Let's not downplay it. Let's go and check that one.
He was right.
Let's go check that specific stat.
The guy
he was right.
But guys, you want to know the reason why this quote, this stat is so stupid.
We lost 2 games.
No, we've lost 1 game in the league.
In the league.
So let me give the guys, without even Harden.
I'm getting ready for tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah. Without no.
Hey, man, come on.
Listen, let me give you the stat without the hard-earned money. We haven't lost a game with Nunez in the team, or Jones in the team, or Gakpo in the team, or Tsimikas in the team, or Bradley in the team, or Gomez in the team, or Endo in the team, or Kelleher in the team, or Kwanzaa in the team, because they were all on the bench, ladies and gentlemen. You get me? They were all on the bench.
Listen, the man spent his hard-earned money, bro. We have to check it, bro. You're going to read out your super chat, so someone sends it. When you read it and check it.
Tomorrow.
It's going to be the same tomorrow because Jadon Tanz is going to start, so it's all good.
Nunez
isn't playing
in the chat say exactly it was a shameless stat. Didn't he put that stat in?
Yeah, you're the one that put the stat in. Mr. Link is another fraudulent, you get me? Fraudulent Nunes disciple, you get me? All these Nunes fans. Honestly, the day we sell him, my celebration, it's going to be the best.
24-hour marathon stream from Husam.
24-hour marathon stream.
I'll
you get
join
me?
you with that one. I'll celebrate as well.
No, you're not invited.
I'll celebrate as well, bro.
You're not invited. This is not invited.
I paid $13 for a fake Darwin Núñez jersey. I got to burn it when I get home.
Please burn it. Actually, buy another one and buy another one.
It's on the other side of the country. I didn't even take it to LA. I was like, I don't even want this. I'm keeping it here.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think you should buy another one and burn them both, just so it feels better.
I have Allison, although ever since I bought it, he's been shit. So maybe I should return it.
Link said, "Does anyone see?"
Maybe just don't buy it. Maybe just don't buy it.
I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop buying kits. It's just bad luck.
Okay, let me just do these super chats. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. We have 1,000 people in here. You get me? It's 4 a.m., almost 1 a.m. in the UK. You get me? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's at least get 500 likes. It's a free button, helps the channel out. Just hit the like button, subscribe. Big up to Mina. I know you weren't here earlier on, but I gave already the reason. Obviously, we had a death in the tribe, so we had to postpone it. But thank you anyway, regardless, Mina. Shukran, Habibi. And I will be definitely spending the time with my fiance the Friday that I do get engaged. Just so you guys know, you're going to have to hold that for the Liverpool show. Big up to Mustafa, who says, if we win the league, and I still think we will, it'll be the last big trophy under FSG ownership. They're taking us back to the trenches. I'm with that 100%. I think this is the last dance, and I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. Every time I see Hamza, I'm just cooking him. Every time, I'm just enjoying the ride, bro. Now, if we draw tomorrow, it's no longer enjoyment. It's a miserable last dance. You get me? The Cinderella, the shoes went and the prince never came. Big up to Selection, says, bottom right speaking sense. I like it. More of it. I agree with you, Selection. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to you, my brother.
This guy, bro.
Yo, he has a name, by the way, Selection, but that's
his name is Jerry, you fraud. You've been watching the channel for long enough. Big up to Ed, who says, this is what they're going to hear in the summer or upcoming months. At least they are preparing a war chest to renew the squad. Wow. There are so many war chests. I think we could have invaded the whole continent with the war chests that we would have had. Because just had a bunch of mercenaries that took over Europe, just to cover the whole continent.
It's deep dive in Spain.
It's a war piggy bank. That's what we got.
Yeah. That's more accurate. That's way more accurate than war chest.
A couple pence here, a couple pence there.
You know when it says smashing an emergency. You know what I mean?
Guys, if what Jerry said is true,
it's like $1 bill. It's just that.
Yeah, if the Jerry scenario happens, we are completely screwed. So this is just I've got to do 12 things in the summer. Yeah, okay, mate. Good luck, bro. Good luck. Yeah, we're completely finished. Big up to Vida, who says the club signed 0 players in the last 2 transfer windows. Now going to be 3 with this one. If we don't renew contract of our legends and don't sign quality players, then we are doomed. FSG never going to sign 3-4 quality players in one window. Never mind 12, mate.
Don't you dare forget my boy Federico Chiesa. How dare you?
That's not true.
He's talking about winter and summer. We only signed Chiesa.
We signed Marwan Dashvili and Chiesa.
Oh yeah, but he's not at the club yet.
Wow.
So factually, it's not true. That's all I'm saying.
So far, his goal against Accrington Stanley has saved our life. Big up, Federico.
Look. And by the way, when Addison gets sold in the summer, I don't want everyone come crying to me because you all want Kelleher. So,
we've got Mama Dashvili, though, innit?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
I hear you. I hope
that Eastern Europeans. There's a bunch of Eastern Europeans on our team.
Haaland contract is 115 months. Troll job FC. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. I can't lie. They did troll us all. Sorry, Mike. Big business don't actually want to keep their best employees. Salah and Virgil are getting expensive. ROI might not be high enough. But once again, his response was, "It's still better than 0." And that's
hold on. I have to respond to this. In business, there's a simple term called the 80-20 rule. 80% of your output is derived from 20% of your input, which means that at any major corporation, 20% of the workforce is, accounted for 80% of the results. In the case of Liverpool, if you were to do the math, about 20% of the team is accounting for 80% of our results. 2 out of 11, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. So essentially, we're actually following basic business principle here in the idea that 20% of the team is 80% of the results. And actually, I'm pretty sure what is Salah? 73% of our goal percentage, and Van Dijk is probably 80% of our defense. So, I am pretty correct here. But thank you for the super chat.
Big up. Max, right now, I'll name you 30 Liverpool players before the year 2010. But as soon as I do it, I want you to just call yourself the biggest bitch on earth in the comment section. If you agree, I'll do it. You have to say, my name is Max and I'm a bitch. And I'm sorry for questioning, Husam. I'm 29 years old, you fucking moron. I've obviously been watching football for a long time. I'm going to be 30 this year. So if you agree to the terms, I'm going to mention them right now. 30 Liverpool players. 30. 30, not 13. Just so you know. Do you think we win this year without any signings? Personally, no. That's my personal opinion.
I think we win the league without any signings.
You guys? Anyone want to say?
I think we'll win in the league still. I just think we'll get knocked out with like a Carabao Cup and FA Cup, and I think we get knocked out of the Champions League.
No, we'll win the league.
No?
I think we can win the league without, because it's just, I think we can win the league without signings.
Got Mo Salah, man. 75%.
If Mo and Virgil don't get hurt, that 20% will yield a title, whether it's the Champions League or the Premier League. And also, I have to make one correction. It's not 11, it's 10. Goalkeeper doesn't count. So
because I never said I started watching from 2000, so clearly you failed in math. I said 20 years, which means 2005 or 2004. Second of all, I grew up in the UAE. Third of all, the Middle East has been showing football for the last 40 years, brother. I know you probably think we ride camels and shit. We don't. There's a car parked outside the house. Number 4, I'll tell you the name of all 4 channels that broadcasted Premier League football, and you can Google check it right now. Showtime, Abu Dhabi Sport, ART, and then it went to BN Sport. Go check it now. And then call yourself a bitch in the chat.
What is this here? I don't understand.
Next week, I want to see a Sam take a selfie.
And Mr. Link, that's also fairly. That's another inaccuracy, because even your brother in Nunes Love here will tell you that I criticized him in the reverse fixture against Forest. And if you go watch my match reaction, I said Salah was the worst player on pitch, and I gave him a 0 or a 1 out of 10. So I'm keeping up criticizing Salah. While you see Nunes hit the post 6 times, and you say, but he got in position. That's the difference between me and you. Salah 3-year contract after 2. Yeah, that's what Mr. Link does.
Well, we have to be fair, though, Husam. What other player on the planet has been able to even miss 53 chances in a game in an entire season? No one else. No one else has
Salah
been able to do that.
contract after 2, sell to Saudi, 40 million. Yeah, that's a return on investment right there. You actually get the money you paid back for him.
Max is saying that he's been to Jordan 10 times, and you're bullshitting.
Oh yeah, they don't show live football. Completely. That's like they don't show live football. When I'm doing a watch along, I'm actually just watching horses outside my house. Big up to Vida, who says Slot is on a high right now, but if we don't sign quality players and renew contracts, he's gonna shit bricks next season. This is the Premier League. Things can go south in seconds. This is true. This is true, Vida. I do agree with it. Listen, this could be the start of a painful era. Big up to Nax Game, which says what does the panel think about who the hell is this guy?
Frankfurt, the French guy from PSG.
Oh, we're not going to do this Frankfurt thing now, are we? Because my move.
No, what they did is funny. They said, "Oh yeah, he's the better player. That's the one." Someone should. I'm like,
we don't sign players. All right, this is
the last time we done that was with Minamino. Look at that turnout, Minamino and Haaland.
I know. Minamino won us a trophy, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but Minamino is the better player, right?
We're gonna win the league,
better player.
Oh, was that the case? Minamino was
better. Apparently, the rumor is of that.
You say that statement, and you also believe we're going to win the league.
The Reds have got no money, but we're going to win the league, Husam. Come on, back us. Let's go.
Do you know what the rumor of that transfer is? Apparently, at full time, Jordan Henderson and some of the boys went to Jurgen. That Minamino's quality. We should buy.
No, there's no way, bro.
No, they did. No, I don't believe that. Virgil and stuff like that. No, Minamino's quality. Yeah, we signed him when we were watching Haaland, and we had the chance to sign him, and we said, "No."
You got to remember, Minamino put Virgil on his ass. We do have to remember that in that game.
Thank God. I'm happy we signed him, because he's the reason why we left with 2 domestic trophies. I can't even lie. Big up Minamino. Thank you for the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, mate. Thank you, mate.
We could have gotten. I'm almost positive. I read that I think it was 3 seasons ago. We were offered from Flamengo. Like it was something like 19 million for Enzo and Julian Alvarez. We could have done that. We could have been City before City.
This is why, Mike, if you wanted to say about the Enzo thing, I would have helped you. It's not Flamengo, it's River Plate because they're
whatever.
Argentinian, not Brazilian, mate. Number one.
Okay, I'm
Number
an
two,
ignorant American. All right, let me.
we
just-
were
let me just
offered
move in.
for both of them 45 million for Enzo and Julian Alvarez, and we said no. So, big up the smartest, most well-run club in the world. Spud me, big up. Why do you think FSG have been investing in signing all these 15, 16-year-olds so they can find the next Trent and Jones so they have to pay them big wages right away? Exactly.
It's
We've
true.
played Rio Gomoha, mate.
Rio.
Let's go.
He
Rio,
cooked, dog.
Rio.
I heard that Maynor Figueroa's son is going to be the one that's in our academy. Is the one
Yeah.
that's got the PR now. He's going to be joining the first team.
And guys, that's when I keep saying about the wages. These guys are perfect because they can build them through, and they be on low wages.
We're gonna
for years.
have a
30
first
grand a week.
11.
Let's go.
We're gonna have a first 11 that equals the same amount as our right winger. So it's gonna be Mo on 400K a week, and then the rest of the other 10 players are gonna equal 400K.
On
We're gonna be
400,
the best
yeah.
run club.
Do you
in
know?
the world.
It's 2 years ago we had the oldest team in the Premier League. In 3 years' time, we'll go with the youngest. They're all going to be teenagers.
That'll be a crazy turnaround. FSG have probably lowballed them. I'm more inclined to believe this than the JJ conspiracy. But listen.
I think it. I think.
Oh,
it's
you rather
really-
just believe the guy with the super chat? Then I hear it, bro. Fair enough.
No, but I said that before the super chat
Why
ends.
would they lowball them when you're saying that they're
Lowball
meant to
them?
be our main guy?
Yeah, I don't think they're. Here's the thing: we have two scenarios here. Either they're not getting the length that they want or the money that they want. It's one of two. Yani, we have to be honest.
The length, bro. I
don't
think the money's fine. I think it's the length of the contract.
But I can't guarantee that. One of them has to be off. 50% chance. Maybe the money is fine. Maybe the length is not fine. Maybe
If it's
the money
money's
isn't
fine.
fine.
If that's the most criminal thing I've heard. That
Yeah.
they're trying to decrease their wages. So what now? Their lifestyle's got to be affected. Fuck that. Sorry, excuse my language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
man.
Because Salah in the interview said we're far away, which makes me think maybe they're giving him like 300 grand a week or something. So that's what I'm thinking personally. But hey, could be a conspiracy. How many of you reject 150K a week to play for Liverpool? I love the club. Yeah, habibi, okay. We get that part. But if you're in the conversation to win a Ballon d'Or and you're the best player in the world, or you're the Liverpool captain and you're the best centre back on earth, you're gonna have to want some form of like world-class money, you know? If it were up to me, Habibi, I'd say yes to play for Liverpool for 5 grand a week, yeah. No
Yeah,
problem.
but it depends how much you love it, isn't it? Because you'd play for free.
Of course I would.
Exactly.
No,
So, could
Jerry,
could you
not
Of course
true.
I would. For
Not
Liverpool,
true.
wallahi, I would play
Not
for free.
true.
Wallah.
How much
If
love?
I
How much
scored
love have you
30
got in
goals
your
a
heart?
How
season,
much love
I'm
you
not
got in your
taking
heart
that.
for Liverpool? That's what.
I'm
that's
not
As
doing
long
that.
as they allow me to do watch-alongs after so I can make some money to get to the games and stuff, I'll be cool with
Nah,
that.
they'll even pay for that for you.
No,
Hussam.
they'll pay for your travel.
Wallahi, I'll do it. No problem. I'll do it.
If it-
100%.
You
I mean,
share Nunez's
if it-
football boots.
If it makes you if it makes you guys feel
I'd
any
rather
better,
jump off a cliff than do that.
No, you
Most
and
Salah-
sit next to each other on the coach and in the change room.
Husam
I
would
wouldn't-
be
I
a
wouldn't
better
wanna be
investment
in
than
that
Darwin
round.
Núñez because Darwin Núñez has cost us
Investment.
1.4 million a goal, and Husam would probably cost us
A pair of boots to
1.4.
goal, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. He cost us a pair of boots for a goal. Darwin Núñez is 1.4 million a goal for 3 years. So I'm gonna have to go with Husam here.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Mike. Mo Salah is not a bitch. He's the GOAT in many folks' eyes. Naturally, he'll have a good level of self-respect and pride. That's my point as well. He deserves the terms that he wants. I agree with this, you know. And even if you want to compromise, maybe compromise on a year less or something. But if they're lowballing them both, then that's a problem for me.
Okay, so Hussam, if we find out that they're not lowballing them, it was just a term thing. Do we look at them and think, yeah, you didn't really love the club then?
Like length of contract?
Yeah, if we find out
No,
in the
but
summer,
that doesn't mean that they
length of
don't.
contract-
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, and on this, I speak for Virgil as well, not just Mo. If they don't, this doesn't mean they don't love the club. They just want to secure their future, which is normal.
Fair enough.
To
No,
be
yeah,
fair,
that's
there's,
what you want for the
there's-
club. Then that's all that says, bro.
there's only one player talking, really, ain't there?
And you keep trying it, but I've rattled you. You can't. rattle me.
Now you haven't. I promise you.
You're completely rattled.
Your guys don't have the love in their heart for this football club. We love the club.
Completely
We
right.
play for free.
right.
These men are scrambling over.
Yeah, but I'm not the best player in the world. That's why I'd play for free.
You work as hard though. You run about and make tackles and fight for the badge.
I'm a smoker. I'll probably get tired after 8 minutes. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Listen, when you smoke, you can't play football at a high level.
You could just be Carlo Ancelotti on the sideline, Shane smoking, watching us win Champions Leagues. Easy money.
I'd be down. I'd be down, motivating.
Someone will
the
be there
players.
for vibes in the change room when they win the titles and stuff with a cigar in his
He's an
hand.
Andrew
That's-
Robertson signing.
Like the
He's
AC
a
Milan
passion
manager.
merchant. Passion merchant.
I
You just
promise you, I won't
run off,
have
catch
11
every
crosses
goal.
in a. I promise you, I wouldn't have 11 crosses in a row hit first, man. I'll find a Liverpool player once at least. That's all I'm saying. For everybody won 3 contracts, no signing, successful window. No, because contract is not part of the window. Contract is something that you can do at any point in time, you know?
Yeah.
So we can't 3 signings in a row.
Do you reckon that'd be a rule one day to stop contracts getting out of hand, that you can only do contracts in a window period?
Oh, no, that'd be horrible.
That'd be horrible.
That'd be like the Wild West. The amount of agents and no.
You're in that one day.
Imagine being a super agent in that like time where like you have 7 players who want a contract, 3 players who want to move, and but like you just go bald.
Yeah,
that'd be mad, wouldn't it? It'd be mad.
Big up to Gagan who says, if we all agree FSG's model does not equate to what's required to sustain success on the pitch and ensure era of dominance logically, we should all be FSG out, but a large population aren't mind-boggling. I think a lot of people have turned. Many have turned. And over the 4 years of me doing content, I have seen a switch probably in the last 6 months to a year and a half. Things have changed. And things started to change the year that we finished 5th. That's where stuff started to change. Year after changed a bit more, and this year I think it's been like a lot worse in terms of I'm seeing way less and less people like vouch for the Fenway Sports
Do
Group.
we need new owners? Do we really need new owners?
We know when the players, maybe not loving the club enough to sign their contract. Is the FSG out as really? Do they really care about the club? Because if they did, they would, do something about it.
Yeah, but I can only do what I can do. I mean,
I'm saying if there's a massive,
miles away.
We're saying there's
me and Kurdish together organized the plane to fly over Anfield
right, but
twice.
that was in the past. We're talking about now. How
With
much
FSG out on it. And I haven't bought a shirt. I haven't bought a Liverpool shirt or put money into FSG's pockets since I've turned FSG out. So I can only do what I can do personally. And I spread my opinions to the people. At the end of the day, I'm not that influential. I'm not like
the mug though, right?
Which mug?
The one behind you.
I didn't buy that mug.
That's probably off Amazon. Jerry, that's probably off Amazon. Or
yeah,
Etsy.
That's not. I didn't buy this.
Liverpool pocket, bro. You know what I mean? It still goes in there.
Etsy, maybe not. Maybe not.
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy anything on this whole like this. These are all gifts, and these are all gifts as well. These are. Yeah, this one's gift right here from actually one of the people that watches the channel. Big up to Nidal. He came to Jordan, he met me, and he got me a lot of these things as gifts. Luis Garcia, I met him in Dubai, and I got the shirt signed. It's an old shirt, as you can tell. Anyway, it's not like one of the newer ones. I got it signed. And the other one's from, and the one with the other one is from Timo. So yeah, big up Timo. Big up to Gagadi who says, yet certain somebody on the panel done a stream on their channel a few months back stating that the whole FSG out debate is pointless. Who's this indirected to?
Said, someone on the panel. I don't do FSG streams.
Yeah, that's his
Maybe
point.
it's Jamie. Maybe it's Jamie.
Maybe it's me. I don't give a shit.
I think it is. But I do think it's pointless unless you're going to do something about it, though.
I honestly don't give a shit.
I do think it's pointless unless you're going to do something about it. What's the point?
I don't think it's pointless if you think it's the root cause.
Why are you going to keep wasting your energy and you're not making any difference?
But you think it's a waste of energy. I don't think it's a waste of energy.
Well, clearly because you're doing something without no return. So what's the point of doing it?
No, I am getting a
Not
return.
you personally, I'm saying in general. Like there's bare FSG out guys here, but everyone's just still watching the game.
You can change
buying the shirt and
you can change
Liverpool.
There's many people who just who tell me like they've changed their minds. They're now focusing on like the owners, and they know that they're at fault. And the more people change their mind, the better. You can only. So
we're all going to sit there and go, you know what, Husam? We've all changed our mind. Let's just sit here and say it.
Gang and Deep answered it in the chat.
The only way we can get the match going fans to turn is to get the people on the internet.
Michael Olise look-alike. Damn. Jerry, you did a stream?
Well, I don't even understand what's your point. I don't even understand what's your super chat about, bro. What is it actually about?
I don't know. It's exactly what you just said, which is it's pointless.
So why did you send that in a super chat to make sense? It don't even make sense when you just wasted your money doing that for that. Might as well just type that in.
Just thank Gagandeep for the donation and just
keep it rolling.
He said there's someone on the panel who thinks FSG conversations is pointless, which is you. So he's just pointing that out.
But what?
That's it.
Like my point, it's like the FSG out, guys.
But you're confirming what he says, basically.
But
That's
you
it.
wrote it for no reason. What was the gain of it? Just to say?
No, he didn't write it for no reason. He's calling you out.
How is that ruling me out? That doesn't even make sense. Think about it.
For me, it does.
How? Okay, explain to me, because maybe I'm done.
Because he's saying FSG conversations are important, and you're saying they aren't. That's basically his point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're not going to do nothing about it, it is stupid.
Yeah, but Gagandeep does something about it.
What typing it?
No, not just typing it. Like it's like having the mind.
Let us the FSG. Does he go outside the stadium and protest? Does he stop buying merch? Does he not watch Liverpool games?
You can ask him.
Well, I know he does all of that, so that's what I'm saying. It's retarded, bro. Why would you? So just typing it, you think is making a difference?
Everything makes a difference. With this mindset, Madrid would have sold Kroos and Modric 5 years ago. Yes.
About the mindset of this population, bro.
Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have, and they wouldn't have been as successful if they did this whole rebuild thing. But there's a reason why Madrid is the biggest club in the world, and we're not.
If Salah was at Real Madrid at 32, would he have signed a new contract by now?
Yeah, they're giving Modric a new contract.
Exactly. So why aren't we doing it, man?
He's like 40, bro. If there are less than 10 points difference to second in March, we will lose the league. Mustafa, PTSD, mate. I'm with you. I'm in the PTSD.
Get out of here with that pussy energy. Get out of here with that pussy energy.
Don't worry about it. I'm PTSD'd.
Completely
PTSD'd. Completely. Husam is waiting till tomorrow. For me, the title was done against Fulham and Man United at home. We are at Arsenal's mercy, not the other way around. The only part I disagree with you on this is the following: Liverpool's biggest enemy is Liverpool for me.
Yeah,
we're our own
seriously.
biggest enemy. Like,
wake up.
If we somehow remember how to play like games of football and play proper football, and the players that are expected to deliver. We win games of football, but for me, I want us to win 6, 7, 8 games in a row. That's what I'm saying.
Big up with a super chat. I don't quite understand it because you say you'd rather beat Arsenal right now, 4 points behind.
No, I think what he means by Arsenal's mercy is if Arsenal drop points, essentially.
But don't worry, guys. They're gonna get Sesko and win the league. It's all good.
No, they're not. Oystein's
agent said no, he's not going anywhere.
I'm just.
Hang on, isn't Saliba got a hamstring issue?
Has he?
Yeah, apparently it was today. All Arsenal fans are freaking out.
Well, Gabriel is much more important than Saliba.
Yeah.
Gabriel's their only.
Only do your part. If 1 million people did this, it would affect them negatively. So that's why spreading it is.
I got every single Liverpool shirt.
What was that for Husam? I didn't see that. What did he say?
I buy for 7.
You can read it. It's in the chat. You're a moderator.
Oh, no, you brought it. I don't know.
You're a mod. Just you wanted Gagandeep.
He basically said if everyone didn't give money to FSG, if 1 million people didn't give money to FSG, it would hurt them. So if 1 million people stopped buying merch.
But you do know every time you speak about them, you're giving them money because you keep speaking about them.
That's illogical because I'm not
speaking.
Because I'm not speaking about them in a positive way.
Trend. You're making them a trend where they can feed off of that
trend. FSG out is a negative trend, not a positive trend.
All media is good.
Just like you being a Nunes fan, it's a negative trend.
Everyone,
not a positive one. You know, Endz, I've made this whole Nunes thing so clear. Tom Little was on the stream. He was like, you remember when the Nunes thing was announced?
Yeah,
He's like, I wonder what Endz made of this. Can we watch his stream? Or live on YouTube. He was like, can we watch Endz's stream? What does Endz think of this? Tom Little said that, not even me. Big up to...
He's true, I was watching.
I said I want to get told though, bro.
Big up Tom. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Endz doesn't back Darwin. He just
I told you I'm Cuban.
One-dimensionally.
Mike, don't worry, bro. These men are key stage 3.
Hey, look at me. My name's Mike. Endz invited me on my on the channel. Like,
what is this? What is this? What's up? See, here we go. Here we go. Now we're back to El Aqua, the end of the show.
Now we're back
to a useless calculator merchant whose opinions don't matter.
I realize when you don't agree with Husam, bro, he just has to go. That's it, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yep. There we go. See, a useless.
As soon as you don't agree with it, Mike,
whose opinions don't matter. There we go.
Yeah, as soon as you don't agree or align with his opinions,
totally. The whole point of the Liverpool show is just you guys agreeing with me. Like, we don't disagree every week. I have some shame. Big up to Angel, says Slot is not a manager, he's a coach. Yeah, and that's why I do feel bad for him in terms of like calling out like the owners thing. I think it's very difficult for him because also his job security is not that high right now. Like they could essentially, if he does overdo it, just get rid of him. This is the reality, like, you know. W's in chat for Jerry who says forcing the war chest. Unfortunately, I'm not John W. Henry. Jenny, you get me? I appreciate you sending in the super chat. Thank you, but I can't. You get me? Get the club to spend as hard as I try. I can only change the opinions of the people, and hopefully that creates the change that we want when many people turn. Hopefully, you know, you can only use your voice and spread your opinions. Big up to you, Jenny. Final question. Let's just end on this. Predictions for tomorrow.
2-1.
2-1 who?
To Liverpool, bro, obviously. Salah to score both.
I think it's going to be a comfortable win tomorrow, 3-1.
Okay, Jerry and Mike.
3-2.
To us.
Who, Liverpool?
Not sure yet.
Why used to go the fans? If you think Brentford, just say it, Hadi. Nothing will happen.
No, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. It just depends on how the first half goes and how whether Alisson can, you know, save simple shots. It just depends.
If
What's your prediction, Mike?
if Jaden Dance starts, we're gonna win this game 4-0. If he comes off the bench, he's gonna score the winner, and we're gonna win it 2-1.
Dance ain't starting.
I know. I'm just propagating and I'm manifesting because Luis Diaz is supposedly sick. We have a bag of glass as our starting striker, and I have to sit here and I have to think Darwin Núñez or Jaden Dance. I know one of them is a pile of shit. I don't know if the other one's a pile of shit. I might as well try.
If we play like we did in the second half against Nottingham Forest, we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, 2-0. I mean, to be honest with you, realistically, 2-0.
Does Chiesa play?
No,
I actually wanted him to come on against Forest, funnily enough.
No, Chiesa gets all the towels after the shower. That's what he said.
Bossy, my prediction is 2-2. Big up to Lil Tims who says Slot does give me bastard vibes like Klopp and Pep. I don't know. Maybe there's a sprinkle of a bastard.
Did you just say your prediction is a 2-2 draw?
Yeah. Because Núñez will start.
That's what you said you're on the ledge.
Listen, when you're suffering from PTSD, he wants a way out.
I tried to throw you a life jacket. I can't. You're not accepting it.
You've got to let him.
There's just a lack of belief right now. Ends with a selection arc, edgy for no reason. Ends is literally selection.
Why do
they are the same people? Selection and Ends is the same person.
Why do you guys get triggered, bro? That's
pointless. I like Núñez. I wanted Salah sold, but I'm gonna act like I like him. It's the same person. The only thing is, one guy is from the US, the other one is from the UK. That's it. The same person.
Context, bro. I don't know. Maybe your listeners and your followers don't listen, bro. I don't know.
Hey, they're getting me Ends clips now. They're sending them to me.
That's fine. They can send it. More publicity to me, bro.
We're gonna
start like FFG, bro. We take it all, bro. You know what I mean?
Husam, if we win tomorrow and Arsenal lose, you're immediately going on and streaming GTA. You're gonna jump in the plane with the parachute. You're gonna type in the cheat codes and you're gonna say that we're gonna win the league.
Are you gonna buy me GTA? Because I can't.
No. You know what? I'll just give you my EA login. You can download it and you can start it up on my account, and then you can go into GTA and you can stream.
Husam, I'll buy you GTA if you do a whole stream on New Year's saying you love him.
Oh, hell will freeze before that happens.
All we'll need is Núñez winning the league. Salah goes injured. He jumps off the bridge, and in an afterlife, Núñez goes and, you know what I mean, wins Liverpool the league. That'll see Husam, you know, really, really turn it on.
Jerry,
whatever the game launcher is.
Huh?
Do you think we landed on the moon, Jerry, or do you think that's a conspiracy? Like, what did you tell me? Tell me, what do you think actually happened? I'm actually curious to find out, because that is a wild thing. You know, deep down, that's never gonna happen.
We landed on the moon. America landed on the moon.
You know this. Like, if you said Gakpo to win us the league, I'd be like, I see it. At least I'd accept the idea, you know. But you're telling me this guy gonna win me the league? Okay, mate. I'd rather, none of us knew Jaden Dance a year and a half ago. I fully want him to start tomorrow. That's how pathetic Núñez has been, bro. Like, I didn't even know who the fuck he was a year and a half ago.
But if he does, then what?
Okay, you know the problem as well, yeah, It's not even Nunes' fault. He's starting.
If we
bro.
can
Jota can't
start
stay fit.
flying cars, I don't know what happens.
What, if
Like,
Jota could stay fit, Nunes wouldn't start, bro. That's how bad it is. Blame Jota.
yeah, of course, but I keep
do you
saying,
know
man,
what'd be crazy? Do you know what would be
Elbow.
really crazy? Is if he doesn't start and we end up doing something crazy like playing Soberslai as the striker with Jones in midfield. Watch
And
us
then
play
and then and then
Soberslai.
and then we batter them. Imagine Soboslai plays striker and we win like 6-0.
Watch Sobo or Jones will play as the striker.
there is
I
a
want
bigger
Jaden
chance of
Dance.
us
Give the
winning with
kid a
Soberslai.
fucking chance.
2 false nines and 2 wingers, bro. That would be mental, bro.
Give Jaden Dance a chance. Like the kid would be 10 times better than Darwin Nunez. And if he came into this game and he banged, all of a sudden that takes pressure off everyone else.
I agree.
Okay, listen, on that note, you guys, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Big up to all of you guys. This has been very enjoyable. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe. Tomorrow, we have the Liverpool watch along. We've got the Arsenal Aston Villa watch along. And I might probably do a Liverpool stream at night, just a solo stream, talk about transfers, the club, or maybe if we, God forbid, lose or draw tomorrow, I might just throw an emergency meeting or something because we have to talk about.
It's going to be a Grand Theft Auto stream, Husam. I'm telling you.
We'll see. We'll see. My internet is too slow to download it in one day anyway. I have to do it overnight. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Jerry James's channel is in the description. Go subscribe. Football with Endz is in the description. Go subscribe. Jamie Phillips Football Chats in the description. Go subscribe. And Mike Das LFC in the description. Go subscribe. We're going to redirect over to Zir Talks, who's doing a SmackDown versus Raw something. So if you're like this, like a WWE guy, go check out his content, help him out. You get me? He's an up and coming content creator. Get him to 500 subs. Bayern fan. You get me? So yeah, love you all, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow, child.
Big up.